when she came home from work and told me she wanted a hall pass.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Movement Radio. I am Chip Hazard.
I'm Talon Williams.
I'm Roger Sierra. I'm tired. Today we got I'm gonna say a very thought-provoking, what you want to call it, Reddit story. Uh, there is something going on in my background, and I don't know what it is, and it is killing my ears. There it goes. Uh, so let me pull it up because I had to actually, it got deleted, so I'd actually find it and write it all down in my phone. Um, so this is Am I the A-hole? I can't remember the title of it. But here's the story. So my wife and I have been married since 2001 and together since 1999. Earlier this year, I think it was actually last year. So earlier this year, she was diagnosed with uterine cancer, stage 1, and had a full hysterectomy. There was some to be expected emotional instances on her part, and although I am not an emotional person, we dealt with them together. So after she recovered, she was insistent that we start living life to the fullest. We started taking trips to Europe, Belize, Spain, Portugal, all that stuff. Well, Spain and Portugal are part of Europe, or whatever. I was fully on board until last week when she came home from work and told me she wanted a hall pass. She wanted this one-time opportunity for her to have sex with someone else besides me. Since her cancer diagnosis, her outlook on life has changed, and she doesn't want to be handcuffed from doing things she wants to do. There is this guy at her office that she has always had some attraction to, and as he is leaving the company, she will never see him again. So this is the perfect opportunity to sleep with him. She said that I could say no, of course, but that she would be mad/disappointed at me for an indeterminate amount of time, and that it would be confirmation of my male toxicity and insecurity. Now, I don't consider myself to be toxic, and if not wanting your wife of 20 plus years to have sex with someone else is insecure, then I guess I am insecure. Now, I told her I appreciated her talking to me about this, but approval via coercion is not approval. Yeah, it's not. I also said that I do not appreciate her language in describing my as of yet unknown reaction to this very large issue that could affect the rest of our marriage and our life. Now, when I got up in the morning, she basically said she was sorry for putting such a big decision solely on my shoulders, and that to help, she was taking the decision away from me. She booked a hotel near her coworkers. She booked a hotel near where her coworkers are having a party/send off for this guy, and she would spend the night there with him and hope that I would be here when she got back. That she would answer any questions I have about the night after it happened, but not before. She will not tell me who is or anything about him, or who he is or anything about him, because she knows me too well and that I will dwell and obsess over him. And that would make it too real for me, which is pretty accurate. Parts of me thinks at least she has been honest with me and she has been through a lot since finding out she had cancer, so maybe I should just let it happen. I certainly have no concept of what she went through, so I cannot dismiss how this affected her mental state and outlook on life. Part of me wants to put my foot down and say this is not going to happen and deal with those consequences when they happen. Oh, excuse me. Her BFF called me callous for even suggesting that I wouldn't let it happen because I have no idea what she went through. Maybe she thinks I won't throw away the marriage because of one encounter. I empathize with her and then an instant later I'm angry with her. Would I be the a-hole for saying no? What can I do besides walking away? Any advice?
Can I take the reins on this one for just a
Yes,
second?
this is the open part because that's part one. There is
Oh,
part two.
okay,
There's an update. Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, there's definitely an update.
Okay. Number one, hell no. It's a hell no. No, you ain't having sex with somebody else just because. No, we are married. We've been married for 20 years. And yeah, you had a health scare. You know, You went through some stuff. You want to live life to the fullest. Absolutely. Let's do that. Let's go out. You want to go on a trip? Yeah. You want to buy whatever. You want to fuck somebody else. And not the fact that she wants to fuck somebody else. She's telling you up front that she wants to fuck somebody else. Then she gives you this deal. It's like, well, I'm just going to make my own decision. I'm going to take it out of your hands and I'm going to make my own decision. That's what I would do. I would be like, all right, cool. You want to make that decision? Okay. You do what you want to do. But if you do what you want to do, when you come back to the house, I'll still be here. But all your shit's going to be in the living room and you can fuck all the way over there because you ain't staying with me. No. We can work shit out, sure, but no. When it gets to that point, because then how much do you really love somebody if you immediately like, I'm going to have sex with somebody else because I want to live life to the full. Look, if you want to have a whole phase, you could have done that shit in your 20s. You want to do it now after 20 years of marriage? Like, no, it's a hell no. No, dude ain't the asshole. No, I don't think he is. Go ahead, Chip. Go ahead and say what you gotta say. Yeah, I'm befuddled at this point.
Okay. So no, I don't think he's an asshole. Um, yeah, she went through some stuff. We don't know what she went through. We didn't go through it. All right. We want to live our life to the fullest. Amen. Let's do that because you never know what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow is not promised to us. However, uh as someone who has been married for damn near 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
uh there are certain inalienable rights that were granted to me when I took my wedding vows and said I do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and I get like you read stories all the time about people, oh, they got a hall pass or whatnot, or I've read stories about like women who are legitimately like pregnant who don't feel the urge to have intercourse with their partner and they're like, hey, I know you need to relieve yourself. Here's a hall pass. uh but Chip don't believe in no damn hall passes. um I Let me just be honest, I don't want and have never desired another woman. I've never wanted a hall pass. Uh, and for her to be like, "Look, I'm sorry, I put this pressure on you, and you know, I'm just gonna take that decision away from you, and I'm gonna go do it anyway." Like that basically, in my mind, says, "Hey, it doesn't matter what you say. I'm gonna do what I want to do anyway."
Mm-hmm.
Um, so no, long story short, no, I don't think as of this moment, we haven't got the update yet. So as of this moment, I do not think he is the asshole.
Yeah.
Roger, hit us with the update.
Well, before the update, what's your initial thoughts after this, Roger? After
Well,
we read the
when I
original post.
first read it, well, I'm not even gonna lie. When I first heard it, because I heard it on another video, and I was like, "Yo, that's a story we definitely need to talk about." But when I first heard it, my my first initial thoughts were, yeah, she went through something traumatic and something we none of us can experience. Obviously, none of us can talk about or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes, she wants to go through the live life to the fullest. She went through cancer. The big C is one of the scariest things anybody can experience.
Yeah.
Surviving it is amazing. Yeah, she had a hysterectomy, so she lost a part of her, but now she wants to live life to the fullest. Cool, go on like they were doing. Go on vacations, go do trips, go experience new things, jump out of plane. Go go into the water and fuck with sharks or something. You know what I'm saying? Go down there and fight a giant squid. do what you got to do. But
What you saying? It's okay to go meet the Kraken?
yeah, hey, hey,
Hey, I'm white, but I ain't that white.
hey. Here's all I said. I'd rather go to space than go underwater. That's all I
Hey,
know.
I'll stay. I'll
It's
stay
scary in
on.
the
I'll
water.
stay. I'll stay on Earth where the good Lord put me. All right.
At least in space, I expect the unexpected. In the water, everything is expected and it's scary.
Yeah, well, that's true. That is
But no.
true.
But yeah, like live life to the fullest, do your things, go experience new things, learn, get new hobbies, learn an instrument, something. Don't sacrifice your wedding for something you may be feeling. I'm gonna say something you may physically be feeling, but not mentally feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like you may want to have another sexual partner because you've been with the same person for 20 years. You want to spice it up, or whatever people say, but that's usually a physical like need. It's not a mental or emotional need.
Right.
So yeah, you want to go out of your marriage and have an emotionless attachable sex thing, which is cool when you're young. Not 20, or at this point they've been married 20 plus years. They've been together 22 years before that. So hell, they're close to what is this posted in 23? They've been
So
together
21.
since
Yes.
99. So they've been 25, 24 years together.
Yeah.
25 at this point, technically of
Yeah.
our time.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, I mean, having sex with the same person, it's just like taking the same road to work every day. You're gonna get there, but you know where the curves are, you know where the potholes are, you know when the bridge is out. You know, it's routine and you get it, you understand it. You trying to have sex with a new person like almost every single week. Now, can some guys pull it off? Absolutely. Most of us who've been married for 20 something years, we may have some struggle, you know. But anyway,
But
what's with the update?
I was gonna say she wanted to spice up a relationship or whatever. There's this thing called communication in the bedroom.
Yes. Yes.
Talk about what your needs are.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, hey, if you just went through cancer, your uterine cancer, and you want your sexual desires satisfied, whatever, tell me what you need me to do. It ain't got to be. Hey, I'll be selfish. I mean, I'll be selfless for 1 or 2 nights out of the week if you need me to. But tell me what you want. Tell me what you don't want. If you want to try something new, tell me that. Don't go and try to find somebody else because not only are you're leaving, you feel like it's going to be an easy getaway because you're like, oh, I'll never see them again. It's a one-time experience. Blah blah blah. What if it's not a one-time experience? What if, oh, this guy at work or the guy at the supermarket or hey, I got somebody I met on Facebook. When is the hall pass no longer a hall pass and you just wanted to cheat on your husband?
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but like when I first read it, I was like, how's this dude the a-hole? Like, you're in a long time committed relationship and you are in a close relationship because you guys have never expressed an open relationship up to this point. So no, you're not the a-hole. If your wife wants an open relationship, maybe have that discussion before you jump completely onto like, I'm taking that away from you and I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Right.
Com-
Exactly.
Communication is the key to life in general. Like,
Yeah.
but okay, here's the update. Um, So starts out by saying, I received a ton of advice that I couldn't possibly respond to. I do appreciate the people who took time to offer advice in the comments or personal message. It has been exhausting couple of days. I tried to see if I could find some of those comments. A lot of them were deleted, so it was hard for me to actually see what people's advice were. But he continued on by saying, I was hoping that my opposition to her plans would give her pause, but unfortunately that did not happen. I said I am a hard no, which in relationships, there's hard yeses and hard no's. Learn that about your partner because it help you out a
Yes.
lot. Uh,
Absolutely.
and I am not sure how I will feel about you if you go ahead with it. I was meant once again with this is for me. It'll be a one time. It will be one time. What can I say to help you deal with it? You'll get over it. We are meant to be. We are meant to be regardless of the situation. Those are the remarks leading up to Saturday. Well, she left Saturday um, to meet her coworkers, but in reality, to sleep with the guy. I asked her to text me when she was leaving for the bar, and when she did, I asked her if she was really going to go through with it. Go through with this. After her response, I am not answering any more questions tonight. I will see you tomorrow. I blocked my wife. Then I did something either stupid or brilliant. I went to the bar where the get together was happening. Well, not the bar, but the transit bench across the street. I waited for a long time. It was running through my mind the leading up to this event. that I need to know who this guy was. Maybe to compare myself against him. Who knows? All right. To see what he had that I did not, it was driving me crazy not knowing who he was and what's special about him that she would ruin our marriage for. And after what seemed like an eternity, a woman that I recognized from my wife's office left the bar and got in a cab. Soon other people started filing out, and a whole group came out, and people were hugging a man and shaking his hand. I assumed that I had my guy. I did see my wife and had a brief thought that maybe she called it all off. I unblocked her, and there were no messages. Everyone said their goodbyes and left. Dude was standing outside for a few minutes. Then my wife came out. She looked around, took his hand, and started walking away together. Of all the emotions I went through, trepidation, sadness, anger, it was disgust that that really encapsulated the event for me. This dude is really on his vocabulary. Good job. Um, this guy was short, fat, and bald. All the things I cannot compete with, jokingly.
Right.
Yeah. Ultimately, I felt like a pervert for watching from a distance. I followed until they got to the hotel and then turned around and went home. I woke up Sunday morning and put a lock on the master bedroom door. I moved her things to the spare room and left a note asking her to find other accommodations as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I visited another friend who is a lawyer, and he gave me some sage advice and a couple of recommendations for divorce attorneys and made the introductions. My wife had been calling me numerous times since around 11 or so. Damn. She didn't start calling until 11 a.m.
Bro.
Yeah.
Dang.
She
I forgot about
she
that.
knows she fucked up now.
No, she got that back beat out.
She got, yeah, her back
Maybe,
bent.
yeah.
She
Hey.
she looked like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
Hey, them short fat ball guys, man. I'm telling.
um uh once blocked once blocked, the calls go to voicemail. I was like, it's supposed to be a commentary, but I forgot to put commentary. I listened to the first couple, but felt nothing but some satisfaction when she couldn't get through to me and she was obviously becoming concerned. I didn't want to go home, but I left in such a hurry that I didn't plan an overnight properly. I got home around 9 or so. As per my buddy's advice, I recorded the interaction. I was halfway up the stairs when she came up from the family room asking what was going on. Could we talk? I thought we needed, I thought we talked about this. I just answered with, I am not interested in discussing this tonight and went to bed. After not getting a response from me through the door, she left me alone. I felt kind of like a child for not talking with her and shutting the door on her, but I just couldn't look at her. Monday, I got up and ready for work. She was waiting for me and asked if we could discuss getting back to normal. I said, "You have been doing all the talking for the both of us for the last week. Why don't you continue? Why don't you continue?" And I left for work. I have an appointment with the attorneys my friend recommended for this week. So, long story short, she went ahead with it. I am actually more disgusted by who she chose than the sex itself, if that makes any sense. I asked her to find somewhere else to live. So, real quick, recap the whole events. Dude's wife gets cancer. They've been together for 24, 25 years. She gets uterine cancer level 1. They get it, go through treatment. They do a hysterectomy. She's recovering. She starts getting hey, I just went through a big emotional and physical stress, traumatic event. I want to live life to the fullest. I can't, regret living life the way I am. We start taking trips together. We start having fun, do the cool things. All of a sudden, she's like, hey, I want to have sex with somebody else. Would you be cool with that? And if you're not cool with that, you're toxic and insecure. Well, hold on. How am I toxic and insecure when you are trying to sleep with somebody else when we've been together for 20 plus years? Well, you know what? I feel bad about saying that. So let me take the choice away from you. I'm going to sleep with you anyways. Don't ask me any questions about it. I'm going to do it regardless what you think. And then we'll talk about it afterwards. No. And then her BFF, I forgot I was trying to find a thread about her BFF because I know there was somebody that said something about it, saying that she was toxic and also enabling her. But that's the only remark. It was like 5 comments in, and it was the only one that wasn't deleted. I was so mad about that. But also, he's like, how am I the bad guy in this situation? Am I being an a-hole for not letting my wife sleep with somebody else for 20 plus years? You know what? She's going on with it. Let me follow her, see what happens. I want to see who this dude is. Maybe he's dieseled out and I can compete with it. Oh, she's sleeping with Danny DeVito? Oh, well, okay. um, well, I'm gonna go home, get myself some sleep, and in the morning I'm gonna change the locks, and I'm gonna talk to a friend who's an attorney, and he's gonna hook me up with some attorneys that can get this divorce going. You know what? I blocked her. I'm not gonna pay attention to her. I'm gonna go to my friend's house, gonna have some fun. All right, I listened to a few messages. I'm a little satisfied because she's upset and concerned. Well, it's time to go home. She wants to talk about it. Well, she's done all the talking. I don't feel like talking. I'm gonna close the door and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Next day, I'm getting ready for work. She's like, "Come on, we can do this. We can get this back to normal." No, and you'll hear from my attorney later on. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
If you want to go do it, go do it. But when
Yeah.
you come back, you are effectively single.
Here's the thing. She was trying to take the consequences away by gaslighting him.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how this works.
Let
you
me
live up to the fullest. Cool. Don't ruin what we've had for 20 plus years. I've wasted a fourth of my life with you already.
right. Let me ask this question though. Let's say the roles were reversed. And he said to her, "Hey, I want to have sex with this chick. Are you cool with it?" What would her reaction be?
That's toxic, and you're also very insecure.
Now, one other question. If he says, "Okay, sure, you want a hall pass? I'll give you a hall pass." Do I get a hall pass? Because if you're saying that I can't have a hall pass, but you want a hall pass, that's not equality. So you just wanted to have sex with a hobbit. I don't understand. It's like, no.
So
Go ahead, Chip.
you
Go ahead.
if you grant her a hall pass and ask for one, you're toxic.
There you go.
So, but yeah, no way is he the asshole in this.
Absolutely.
And I have to kudos to him, because if I'd have went to the bar and I seen her walk out with Danny DeVito, there's no way I would have just like turned and went back home. I'd have ran up on dude, and we'd have went to Duff City.
Yeah, he would have got the Batman treatment. I would have came out from the sky. I would have came out the sky with a drop kick to his face, and then I'm taking him up to the roof, and I'm dropping his ass to death like Danny DeVito did.
Yep. Oswald Cobblepot's getting dropped. That's what's going to happen.
So I have to. My hat is off to you, sir.
Yeah, he's definitely a better man than me, because the second she's like, you know what, I want to do this, I'm taking it out of your hands, and there's nothing you can do about it. She might have caught a swift uppercut.
Yeah,
just saying, just a quick one. She might have got the bus driver uppercut real quick. Just bam.
Here's another question. If this guy was obviously shorter than the original poster, obviously weighed less, had hair, like obviously looked better than it. What about this short, fat guy attracted this woman to the point where she would ruin a 20-year marriage?
Maybe he's packing. Maybe he's really got the heat.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's the thing we don't know.
That's the thing we don't know, right?
And we'll never know, because she's not going to talk about it.
Never know. But I mean, maybe he had a dick made out of gold. I'm not sure.
But he had the magic stick.
Bro, I'm just saying, bro would have caught some hands.
Bro.
Ain't no way. I'm just gonna be like, oh, that's the dude she wants to sleep with now. And I'm gonna go on home.
No.
See, if it was me, watch him going to the hotel, wait about 10 minutes, act like I was food service,
room service,
like that.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Like, oh, here's your complimentary meal. I'm just gonna roll it in. As soon as you open the door, kicking it open like SWAT, and dudes get.
Yep.
I'll fight a naked dude. I don't give a shit. I'll take my clothes off too. I don't give a damn. You know what?
Hell
you
yeah.
Fuck him. I want to fuck him. How about that?
Make it really weird. Just make it weird. Make it really weird. Just walk in. No, don't even do that. Just walk in. Just start taking clothes off. Just see what the reaction would be like. What are you doing? I'm sorry. You went to hall pass. I'm gonna see what your hall pass is gonna do.
He got to go through me before he goes to you.
Ruin both nights. Ruin everybody's night.
I'm getting a nut regardless, so it don't matter.
Oh, you're a sick motherfucker.
He ain't lying, though.
Yeah. At that point,
I said what I said.
I'm gonna have a rage boner. I'm gonna take your cornbread from you. You gonna eat your cornbread?
You gonna eat that cornbread?
Oh, motherfucker, you ain't had none of my cornbread. That's a damn sure. You do part 2 of my killing spree, gonna be up in here on your ass right now.
Yeah, you got Kool-Aid on your lips, huh? You trying to be a little sweet boy, huh?
Go over here and hold my pocket.
But no,
Whew.
yeah, I had to share that one because that was an intense one when I first heard it. I was like, yo,
Damn.
that's one of the wildest ones I've ever heard.
That is
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
But all right, so from there, we're gonna move on to our next segment. Real quick, we're gonna go over some anime we've all watched. Has everybody caught up on Delicious in Dungeon?
I caught up.
Yes.
I caught up today. Yes,
Because it's been about a month since we've talked about it.
about a month since we talked
yeah.
about it. A lot has
so
happened in
so
the
from
time.
the
Yes.
from the time we've talked about it last, after our group found Fallon, um, the Mad Mage appeared. Who we
Yes.
find out was also the Mad Mage was the mage in the paintings that Laos was going through throughout one episode when he was going through the paintings,
Yeah.
which was a really good callback and something that was really well pieced,
Yeah.
pieced together.
Yeah. And it
Yes.
ties into the episodes that are coming in later. But go ahead and keep
Yes.
going.
So the Mad Mage waxes everybody pretty
Pretty
easily.
much.
We see Marcel use some ancient magic to counteract his ancient magic. They keep calling it black magic, but it's not black magic because it's ancient magic. It's just differently done. The Mad Mage might be using black magic. We haven't really saw that fully yet. He is doing some cool stuff, which is but from there,
Yeah.
the Mad Mage pretty much beats up our heroes, knocks them all out. They all have to go, either into Slumberville, whatever. And then he turns Fallon into a chimera dragon creature thing because she has like chicken body, but dragon legs and tail. So
Yeah.
really weird. But it's also her torso up. Weird.
Yeah.
But our team is then saved by some orc. Crap, it's been so long since I saw it.
Here,
Were the
let me
orcs or
go.
dwarves?
Let me
I
go
think it was
back and look.
dwarves. And the orcs
Uh,
are it was
Was
dwarves.
it? I thought it was ninjas. Or am I thinking too
No,
far
it was
back?
group of orcs.
No, it was
It
orcs.
says
Yeah,
it says
was
Okay,
meanwhile,
okay.
yeah, if we're talking about episode 13, the Red Dragon 3, Red Dragon Part
Yeah,
3, it says
yeah.
meanwhile the rest of the party is captured by a group of orcs and led by Chief John's sister led.
Yeah,
Lead.
because
Yeah.
remember, Chill
Was le-
Chuck's like, hey, I know you because we met your
That's
brother.
right.
yeah.
Yeah. And then Chill Chuck and the leader of the orcs, this female general, I can't remember if she was a general or
Yeah.
not, but I would call her general.
Well, it's
She
Chief John's sister. Yeah. So I mean,
yeah.
she's kind of a general in a sense, like a second in command.
And they're going through the dungeon trying to find some of their stuff and everything like that.
Yeah.
Chill Chuck's trying to go, he's trying to leave because he's like, I'm tired of this, I can't do this. But also Laos, Senshi, and Marcel sort of have an amnesia of the situation that happened.
Mhm.
They can't remember what happened to Fallon. Only he can remember, so he's trying not to tell him. It's a whole episode about him pretty much learning to become braver and also more honest with his friends. Really good episode.
Yeah.
But he comes back and joins the group up, and they start trying to get stuff going. From there, we pretty much Marcel starts teaching Laos magic.
Mhm.
He's okayish at it. And then they go and fight what was the name of the bird? A cockatrice?
A cockatrice, yeah.
Cockatrice,
Yes.
which is a bigger basilisk, which is it's just literally a bigger chicken with a snake or snake with a chicken body
It's a chicken's head
and body.
and neck. Well, the body kind of has like a lion kind of body look to it because of the thing, and then it's got that dragon tail, and then it's got the wings on it, and
Well, it was a
you
snake
know,
head. It was the same thing as the basilisk.
yeah,
So it's literally just chicken body and snake.
yeah.
Snake
I'm
head,
looking
but
at
chicken
yeah,
body, which is weird the way they described it, but I get it.
yeah.
But Marcel gets scratched by it or bit by it. She gets scratched by it, I think.
It's
Um,
what I'm reading is just that it gets attacked. I think she did get bit, if I'm not mistaken.
She takes damage from it, and we find out that she's about to turn into stone. And the funny thing is, Laos is like, "Oh, I know how to fix it." And she's like, "Okay," and she's listening to him, and he pretty much gets her to try to sit in a fetal position. So when she turns to stone, she doesn't fall over and destroy herself. And then the boys pretty much save her by doing like a home remedy soup and some bootleg magic.
Bootleg, yes.
Because essentially pretty much gets all these ingredients to make a stew that can bring her back. But they use her as pretty much a pot holder for this for the cauldron they're using. And
It
then
sure did.
and then
Yeah.
and then Leos is like over here doing this weaker magic that he's reading from her book that he can sort of translate. And it actually worked,
Yeah.
surprisingly. They were able to get her to be unstoned. Um,
Yeah. But it takes like what did they say, 3-4 days or something like that to like get her like
yeah.
completely cured for it and stuff.
But yeah, it took her a while. She was losing her man and everything like that. So the
Yeah.
crew starts traveling. Um, from there, we find out that the Madam Mage is consistently changing the whole dungeon, walls, areas, and anything like that. So
Yeah.
Chilchuck's trying to guide them out. But as soon as he gets near an exit, we find out the room shifted, and so we have to find another way around, back and forth. And that's
Yeah.
when we run into new party, which is Shuno and his family from the east.
Cabrew.
He's
Is
hmm?
that it's Shuro and Cabrew, right? Wasn't that
Shuno.
Shuno? Yeah. But I'm trying to
Yeah.
think there was somebody else.
Well, he's the leader of this
Yeah,
band, his
I know
group.
he's a yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. It's Shuno first, and his group of people from the east. Apparently,
Yeah.
when he left them at the beginning, he went back home to his homeland to get more people to come back to his system to find
That's right.
Fallon. And we find out that he's not been eating. He was very like malnourished and try to still go on. But then we also find out that they had picked up the other band of the group that we had to keep seeing throughout the episodes over and over again that kept dying and kept getting resurrected over and over again.
Yeah.
And they join up and they're joining up with Shuno and following them. And then this is when Laos is ecstatic because we got Shuno back and he tells Shuno everything. And by everything, including the part
Everything.
of using ancient magic, or as they refer to it as black magic, to resurrect Fallon with dragon meat.
Mm-hmm.
And this sets him off, and him and Laos almost get in a fight, but they don't because Shuno sort of is he's conflicted because he's happy that Fallon's back, but he hates the fact that she came back with dark magic, as they keep saying.
Yeah.
Um,
But if it's revealed to the authorities that they've used black magic, they get killed.
yeah, easily. But then um Shuno calms down, and then Shuno asks his family to make him some food, but while he's making food, says she's also going to make some food. So there's multiple people making food because there's so many people. They sort of split up in three areas. So there was a cook for each segment and everything
Well,
like that.
yeah.
So everyone could be fed up. Uh huh.
Yeah.
I was going to say the reason they split up is um Laos, he actually makes the comment of it's not good for us for this many people to be in one
In one spot.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is true. And Chilchuk actually goes with Senshi because he thinks Senshi's gonna be the one to goof, and but he regrets it because he's like, oh, of course Leos is the one to goof.
Hmm.
But all this is going on. They start getting some food in them. They start healing up. One of the I can't remember what she is.
Ninjas.
She's a ninja, but I can't remember. Is
Yeah.
she an elf or is she just an actual? I can't remember what she was.
I can't remember. I just remember them being ninjas.
Yeah, because they have the cloaks and everything on them.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
actually one of them actually starts healing Fallon or not Fallon, crap, Marcel up some more because she's still a little weary and weak from all the situation that it went through. Um, then after all this, everybody's starting to get happy, we starting to have a good time, and then we have a harpy attack.
Yeah.
And not only do we have a harpy attack, but we have a giant creature attacking. But we don't see that for a second. We see these harpies getting beat up back and forth, but then we start seeing Shuno's family's bodies just dropping from the sky.
Yep.
And we're like, oh crap, maybe these harpies are more of a threat than we thought. And as the camera pans up, we see Chimera Fallon. And Chimera Fallon is beyond dangerous because she has Fallon's amazing magic ability, but the body of a giant dragon chicken. She's literally just killing people left and right too
And
easily.
she's being controlled in a sense by the Mad Mage or
Yeah,
by
she's
yeah, by the
bloodlusted by
mage.
by the Madam Mage, which is even worse because she has
It's
no
yeah.
remorse. Um, so our three bands, or three groups, pretty much try to go back and fight off they beat up the Harpies and everything like that, but then they try to fight Fallon, and Fallon goes through 80% of the parties.
Roughly.
Um,
No, yeah, I would say yeah, most of them. Yeah.
yeah,
What the only people that didn't get
our people, our party.
essentially, yeah, it was Shuno, Laos, Marcel, Chilchuk, Senshi, and one
The leader of
uh
the third group, I
Home,
can't forget his
home,
name.
the healer.
That one,
Was it Marzaru? Is that who we're talking about?
the healer and the dude that's the leader of the third band that kept the Cobalt band dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So essentially 7 people survived out of like 20 plus people. So yeah, she went
right.
about 80 to 90% of the group. She does this. Well, there's a point where um, I wish I could remember his name. The leader of the third group, the one that we saw die over and over again. Um, he sets up this cool moment because Laos is talking to Fallon and he's trying to get through to her. And there's a moment of slight hesitation where she literally goes, "Brother, help me." And everybody's standing there. And then Homeboy comes out and attacks all her vital points, or so we thought. He stabs her through the chest a few times, the back to get the kidneys, and the front to get her liver and intestines and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And heart and
And
lungs.
heart, yeah, everything like that. And he did some damage, but oh yeah, that's not a human body anymore. It's a chimera body. According
Yeah.
to Laos, her organs aren't where they would be. It was a smart attack, but not the right time. And after this, Fallon gives off this amazing incantational attack where she pretty much turns everything on the floor into giant, massive spikes.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcel hears Fallon doing this incantation, and she realizes what spell's about to go on. She tells everybody to get behind her so she can make a physical shield. And like within 2 seconds, Fallon gets off this attack, and that's when she does most of the team wipe right there. Only a few people got behind her. Um, and from that moment, after she does that, she essentially leaves. Um, Fallon essentially leaves, and everybody's there to like sort of try to resurrect as many people as they could.
Yeah.
But there was the dude from, I can't remember his name, the one dude from the third party is like, hey, you healer, healed this person is first instead. And then this person, he's actually resurrecting people he thought were more significant than other people,
Yeah. Yeah.
which sucks because it wasn't anybody in his party. Um,
Right?
but from here, our band starts to leave. Again, they're trying to leave the dungeon because they had team wipe. They know they're not strong enough right now.
Right.
Everything that's gone through.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
also Shiro blames Marcel for
yeah, because she think
everything, and
he believes that since she had dragon meat, it turned her into that. But we find out that the man mage just transformed her. Because
exactly.
yeah,
It's saying he's going
uh,
to get to give Marcel to the Western Elven Kingdom for punishment and things of that nature.
yeah. Um, But no, these episodes, ever since we found Fallon, the tone shift and the thematic shift went from being lighthearted and cozy to action oriented. It's
Yeah.
pretty much been all at the actual D&D part of it now. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's still cooking elements here and there, but the big focus is the retrieval arc, which is really great. I'm glad Netflix kept it going. We have 5 more weeks. What episode are we? 19 or 18 or 19?
Yeah, we just
Yeah,
finished not 19. Well, episode 20 is going to be coming out May 16th.
Yeah, so episode 20 is this week. So it'll be 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So yeah, 5 more episodes, 5 more weeks. I don't know how this is going to like, do we end this on a cliffhanger? Do we end this with helping Fallon out and moving on to something else? I'm excited, but I'm also nervous because I hope they don't drop the ball. Like I want
right.
Netflix to make this seem like I do want them to tie it up, but I also want them to give me something to look forward to at the same time. Like maybe we
Exactly.
do go back up to the land, start going back to this dungeon and everything like that. We don't beat the Mad Mage, but we get Fallon back, and then something else happens to make us want to be like, all right, we've got to stop the Mad Mage. Um, but no, all these episodes have been great. The last episode was
Hag.
uh, what?
Well, that's the name of the last episode because it
The
was the
episode 19?
Yeah, episode 19 was Hag. You talking about, are you talking about the episode with the shapeshifter?
Shapeshifter. That's the episode, right?
That was the episode before
That was 18 and 19 with
was
Hag.
Hag. Yeah, Hag or Nightmare. Sorry,
Nightmare. Yeah,
there's two different translations
I was
on
like,
here. There's
wow. I
like
was like, I don't know.
there's a Japanese translation and then a why are they given two different? Yeah, because episode see which one was it? Episode 10 was they had two names for the episode. It was Giant Frogs and Above Ground.
Yeah, you always have double episode. Like
Yeah,
it'll be the
damn.
creature and then the situation. But
Episode 7 had three different names for the episode.
I
Okay.
can't remember. I didn't remember that far back. But
Yeah.
no, the last episode was a Marcel episode. Um, she's having self doubts and fears again. She's obviously afraid that she's going to lose everybody, but she's obviously afraid of dying, which natural. But her fears are getting a big hold of her. Um, she gets she gets when she goes to sleep. She actually falls asleep on a bunch of nightmare shells. Because we find out nightmares are apparently sea creatures, pretty much. um, but no, it was a really good episode. It did sort of stop the pacing a little bit, in my opinion. But I think it was to give people time to breathe from everything that's happened so far.
I
Um,
think so as well.
but no, so far, like I said, it's Delicious Dungeon has been the anime of the year. Um, there's one or two animes right now that I'm watching that I think could overtake depending on how it goes. But right now, DID is the number one anime for the year. Uh,
Yes.
what do you guys think?
No, I'm right there with you. I completely agree. Delicious in Dungeon, it's something that I think the anime community needed because
Hmm.
it's not your normal uh anime. It's not shonen. It's not slice of life. It's kind of both mixed together with a cooking element to it. Like it's a very unique anime and I don't want it to be oversaturated, but I wouldn't mind maybe one or two more uh like Delicious in Dungeon style anime.
I agree. Like, because we talked, obviously the shonen stuff, and then obviously of course, everybody, like again, slice of life, what Chip just said. I think Delicious in Dungeons almost in a class by itself in a sense, because it has all the elements that you love from anime. It does, yes, it does have a story arc to it, but it also has action when it needs to be. There's not an extreme amount of it to where it goes so over the top, it's unrealistic, but at the same time, it also pulls back a lot on it brings about some type of slice of life as well because it talks about like interpersonal relationships with people and people going through different struggles and different quirks and things of that nature. And especially now, especially after watching the last three episodes, really, or really all the episodes in which Fallon returned and now being controlled by the dark mange in the sense of that nature, the screen the anime became very very dark in a sense, and I think that's what intrigued me to keep watching it because yeah, beginning it's lighthearted, it's fun, D&D style, it's really really the fun show to watch, anybody can get into it. But then when we start getting into the darker elements of the deeper down they go into the dungeon, the more scarier it gets, the more darker, the more creepier, the more unsettling that it seems. And you're already hooked from the first like 12, 13 episodes, especially after they kill the dragon, and then you're already hooked into it. Now it's almost like you're compelled to watch the rest of it because now you're so invested. Now you want to know what happened because you've already developed this weird connection with Leos or with Chilchuk or with Senshi or Marcel, so you're automatically like, okay, I want to know what happens. Like, you know, is any of these people going to be in trouble because they use dark magic because they could possibly die, they could possibly be executed, including Fallon in a sense. You want to see, is Fallon going to return to who she once was at some point? Like, how was that going to happen? Also, the damn dwarves and their political bullshit and how that's going to intertwine within the story in later episodes and things of that nature. So I do think it's a pretty interesting.
But yeah, Chip, what are your thoughts so far? Or you already said your thoughts. I
I
forgot.
did, yeah. No,
Um,
you're fine.
so the next one from there that we are all watching and catching up with, I believe, is Windbreakers.
Yes.
AKA Hands the Anime Part Two,
Eh,
because Tokyo Revengers is number one. But
right?
Windbreakers, first of all, Cloverworks, your animation, your design, ah, perfection. I love how it looks. It has that beautiful aesthetic. Some of the stuff you can see that's hand drawn, and then they digitally recreated it instead of being pure digital. I love the character designs. I love the school uniform, the green and the gold trim. Love it. Every character being so unique with their personality, but also they stand out with each character's like actual appearance. We have Sakura Hakura, which is boo boo name, such a bad name because you couldn't think of anything creative. He's our main character. He has half black, half white hair, and he also has
A
a blue
blue and a
eye and a hazel eye.
I,
yellowish, hazelish,
Yeah.
orangish kind of, yeah, yeah,
Um,
hazel. Yeah. And
his
his
story,
eyelashes are white also along. Yeah. So that kind
yeah.
of gives it a different, yeah.
And his story is that growing up in his town, he was always mocked and people hated him and thought he was a deviant because of how he looked. So he sort of fell into it, being like, you know what, if everybody's gonna, push me away and hate me and call me a deviant, might as well be a deviant. Then he found out about this school in another town where it's the number one delinquent school where all the bad kids go and they all fight for supremacy.
Yep.
Japan has this great fascination with delinquencies and delinquent schools. It's hilarious. I love a lot most of the delinquent animes. I don't think there's been one that I've not liked so far, but this one I so far has been one of the best ones from start till now. We meet some of our more of our characters. We sorry, throughout the first episode, Sakura goes to this cafe. He talks to this what is her name? I'm gonna get all these names wrong. I'm gonna have to pull up the list
Yeah.
because
I'm doing it now because because I'm trying to remember everything off the top of my head right now too. Uh, her name is okay. That's the gang characters. Let me scroll through.
um
I'm on the wiki page. I'm just trying to make sure to get okay episodes. Here we
so
go.
her name is that is not her name. Those are other characters. Why are you trying to spoil me? Go to anime. Uh, so the places the school he's going to is called Fear Run, but he later
Katoa?
finds out
No, that's not it.
no, her name is Tachibana.
Tachibana. There you go.
Kotoha Tachibana, sorry.
Kodaha.
Um, but she runs first of all, she she looks like she's 24, 25 years old. She's 16. Blew my mind when I found out her age. But she runs this cafe in this town. She's talking to Sakura. He had helped. Sakura was walking around. Sakura was walking in town. These losers were picking on Konoha, trying to get her to, go on a date with the leader of this stupid street gang. And
Hmm.
Sakura walks up and just starts dusting him. He hates when weak people pretend to be strong to pick on other weak people. So he says it don't matter who you is, you catch the fade, and
Pretty
he literally
much.
fades out 5 or 6 guys at one time. So Kodaha lets him come back, and then she feeds him, tells him how cool she is, and that she, her his appearance doesn't scare him or whatever, blah blah blah. It's literally the opposite of what he had gone through in life. So he's conflicted now because he thought he was going to come to this town and be hated, but he's actually liked. Um,
He doesn't know
and
how to handle it.
yeah, and as this is going on, the dude that he beat up gets his whole gang together and starts beating up the town, starts causing havoc, beating up on stuff and everything. So
Hmm.
Sakura is like, you know what? I don't care how many of you are, y'all can catch this fade. And he starts beating him up, boom, boom, starts jumping in, beat him up. And then from there, we get some more people to jump in, and we get Sal, Suo, sorry, Sal, Suo, um, uh, Hiragi and Sugishita, and I think there was one more person, wasn't there?
I think so. I'm trying to remember the names off the top of my head.
Uh, Oh, and Misuki. Yeah.
Masuki. There you
So
go.
they come in and help out Sakura because he had gotten hit in the back of the head. He got snuck by a baseball bat in the back of the head after he had dusted like 10 guys. Um, but as Sakura is standing there, he's realizing, oh crap, these guys are all beating each other up. This is cool. But the town is cheering them because they're protecting the town. So big long story short, we find out the Furin is no longer called Furin. They're called Bufurin because they are the protectors of the town. And they decided to go from delinquents to protectors. Um, so Sakura's conflicted because he's like, I wanted to come to school and beat up all the people, blah, blah, blah. So on the first day of actual school, he goes and him and Sugishita sort of get each other's face. They're about to have a brawl. Suo's like, okay, let's have this happen. Just see it goes through, blah, blah, blah. Then they start fighting and then they actually go meet the big boss, Hajime Umiya?
Umi,
Can't
u, u, u,
Umamiya.
Umamiya, yeah.
Um,
And he's obsessed with tomatoes or
Well,
plants.
he's obsessed with gardening and plants in
Gardening, yeah,
general.
yeah.
But he's the big boss. He's the toughest and baddest. Um, the weird thing about him is that he's so calm, cool, and collected. But he also like when you set him off, you set him off. He has this aura about him. He's able to get people to do what he wants by being very charismatic. Um,
Very
Sakura's
Jim
confused by
Jones.
this. Sakura's very confused by this until at a moment where Hajime pretty much tells him to do something, and his body's like, "Yes," but he's like, "Why am I listening to this dude?" Whatever. So I'll break down the character designs real quick because I love them so much. We have, like I said, Sakura is has the distinct hair and distinct eyes. From there, we have Akiho, who's the weakest of the group. He's just a blonde haired kid. He's got blonde hair. He's the nerd of the group. He takes notes on everything and everybody.
he, if I may interject just something, he reminded me when as I watched this, especially when he did his introduction, he reminded me so much of Zenitsu from Demon Slayer.
I mean,
That's the
that's the
vibe that
trope.
I got from him. Yeah, well,
That's the
that's what I was
trope.
asking. Like, why? Okay, well, I'll ask this question. I don't mean to interject a question here, but like, why is that particular trope in anime almost in every single one? It's almost like the goofy. Is it
The
more of
goofy,
like,
the goofy coward.
yeah? So like, do they have it there because it's like the fans want to see this cowardly character finally become courageous in a sense?
Because you always have to have you always have to have the weak guy that makes excuses and eventually becomes stronger
Okay, all right,
or
makes
shows off
sense.
his powers like Zenitsu did because Zenitsu was strong. He's just a coward.
Yeah,
Um, Sugishita has long, like dark bluish hair, like
blue. Yeah, dark
deep
blue.
bluish
Yeah,
hair. Wears a gray shirt. Always has a scowl on his face. Then we get to my boy Suo, who has the best design. He's got
the eye patch and the
he's
yeah,
got an eye patch. He's got these earrings on. He said he's
yeah.
dusting everybody. He's wearing a Chinese gi on for technically Wing Chun, but he later says it's a mishmash martial arts, but it was Wing Chun. But he's also got like medium brown hair. He's very soft spoken, very calm. His voice actor is the same voice actor as Mahito in Japan. I
Nice.
But the weird thing is that I found out a bunch of the voice actors in English. Cameron, get back in focus. Voice actors in English are mostly people from Blue Lock.
Yes.
Really? Didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah.
That's
Most of the cast in
interesting.
English is Blue Lock. The cool thing about Windbreakers is that they're dubbing it and they're only 2 episodes behind. So if you want to start now, you've already got 3 episodes to catch up on in English. If you want to watch dub, the Japanese I think is fine.
Yep.
The show's got an amazing opening theme and an amazing ending theme too. I
Dude,
love the music there.
I was fixing to ask you about the opening theme, dude. Is that not one
I
of the
love the
coolest
opening.
opening themes in a list
Yes,
you've heard in a while?
it is so good.
Yes.
Oh, I
Then we
will
got.
say,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
speaking of opening themes, the the new opening theme, not the original opening theme, but the new
The
opening
Delicious
theme
Dungeon.
for Delicious Dungeon bangs.
It bangs, but it doesn't have that whimsical like
It doesn't
old
have a Dungeons
fantasy
and
style.
Dragon feel to it.
Yeah, it doesn't. But I still like it.
Yeah.
I don't. The ending is a little meh, but the openings are good so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really do like them. We'll talk about it here in a second when I wrap this up. We'll talk about another one that has a really good opening and closing theme too. But I'm gonna get to Tomo Hiragi. I mean, they also call him Ragi. Short for short. His character design is just like medium spiky dusty brown blonde hair.
Yeah.
But his biggest differentiating appearance is that he has shark teeth pretty much.
Yeah.
He has just the razor, like all the mangled razor teeth. He is second in command. Um, then we have our leader, Hajime. He's got the main character, white hair. So, every anime, there's that side main character dude who has the white hair that's the strongest. Kakashi, Gojo, and now we have Hajime to be put up there. That's his differentiating appearance. So in this episode, before Sakura got to school, uh, Akiho was getting beat up in the street by some other dudes in this beautiful orange and white jacket. I love the design. I love the character designs, all their outfits. Like they're called Lionhead. They're another rival gang who are pretty strong. But they were beating up Ahiko, and Sakura came and saved them. They get to school. So now the leader of Lionhead, who's like a 10-year-old kid, um, he comes through,
Yeah.
and his name is Tomiyama.
Tomiyama, yeah.
Tomiyama. And Lily's like the toughest one. Apparently, he went through and wiped out the whole crew.
Yeah.
He became the leader because that's how you become the leader of a delinquency great
Yeah.
gang. You just beat the crap out of everybody.
Yeah. Did that not throw you for a loop though? Because I was under the assumption when they saved what's his name? They saved the middle schooler in that little alleyway on like the border of the towns or whatever. The one guy when I first seen him come up, I can't remember his name to save my life. Um, he showed up he kind of looks a tad bit like Spike from Cowboy Bebop, but because he got the big old glass on, like I thought this guy was the leader at first, and then you find out that it's this young little, look like a damn near 10, 11-year-old boy, and I'm like, that's the leader of this outfit. Okay, he's very jumping around. You could definitely tell that he's
A child.
a child, yeah. Very eccentric, very like over the top kind of a thing. But I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought that was interesting to point out.
What character looks like Cowboy Bebop?
Let me go back and find it. Hang on a minute.
Um,
Let me go back here and look and see if I
are you
can
talking
find it.
Togami?
Togami, yeah, because he's got the spike hair. He's got I don't know, the facial. For whatever reason, a glimpse when I first caught the glimpse of it, I was like, "Is that Spike from Cowboy Bebop?" Like that's what I thought at first.
Togami's got shaggy black hair with glasses.
Well, let me look. Let me go back and look real quick. I said I
Uh,
seen it from a distance, so I remember I seen like looking like that. I'm not saying that's what I think he is, what he looks like now. I'm saying from when I let me go back. I'm trying to find the picture of him real quick so I can see. No, that's the other gang. Let's go back there and look. Keep talking while I'm looking at this up.
but Choji comes up and he dusted like the whole block of all these fighters,
Hmm.
um, of the Bufferins, pretty much gatekeepers or anything. He walks up and tells Hajime, "Hey, you beat up my people. I'm just, returning the favor. Let's go one on one." And Hajime is first like, look at all the damage done. I think this is fair enough. We call it, even. And then in walks, oh, douchebag Togami. I hate this dude so much. I already feel like I want to box him in real life. He's the second in
Hmm.
command of Lionhead. He's got this black shaggy hair, these little cool guys glasses. They're little round frames, and they got like these. They got the transitional lens on them. He thinks he's so cool, and so the way he talks, he's so cool, calm, collected. And I want to punch him in his face so hard. I really do. But he pretty much is like, "Hey, how about instead we do a 5-on-5? Your top five versus my top five, or our top five." Obviously, Choji will go against Hajime. Then he goes and picks no, who was the guy next? He picked Arima will go again. Arima is another guy from Lionhead. He has a side shaded head, like Shinsuke Nakamura style.
Yep.
Very
Yeah.
snarky, very I think I'm better than everybody guy. Then there was Kanuma. He's pretty much he has an awesome design. I really liked it. He had the orange jacket and underneath it, he had the green hoodie. I thought
Hmm.
his design was pretty cool. That's his distinct features. And then there was on Choji, Togame, Sako. Sako comes out and says, "I'm gonna fight Ragi myself." I'm thinking about crap. I just said his name. The thing about Sako is that he never talks. That's the thing. Like he says one or two words ever. Um, so pretty much we line up this 5v5, but it's run into one. So you have 5 fights in total.
Hmm.
Um, the first fight is Sugishiga versus um, Arima. Yes, Arima. Arima gets a couple hits on Sugishiga. Sugishiga goes in berserk mode, beats the crap out of Arima really quickly, dusts his hands off real quick. But one thing we find out is that Lionhead literally only cares about power. So once Arima got beat, Togami literally looks in the crowd and says, "Hey, get him off the stage, put him over there. I don't care what you do with him." Um, that happens. The next fight is one of the most beautifully choreographed moments I've seen. Um, which is surprising because a fight later on is almost more beautifully choreographed. But we have my boy Suo going against um, Kanuma, and the whole fight is pretty much Suo giving this man a life lesson, telling him to go quit being a kid and become a man. And he is literally just beating the crap out of him, but not really beating the crap out of him. He's only just deflected him and hit him with short hits back and forth, making him look like a fool. And he's pretty much just demoralizing him while fighting him. And then
Embarrassing him more
yeah,
than
in
likely.
front of
Yeah.
everybody, and then he just beats him up easily. Boom. Like he's over here just swaying. He's over here like weave, 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 hit, what. Just wing chunning the crap out of him. It gets to the point where Kanuma is literally crying, and he's just like, I can't do this, whatever, whatever. And then he takes a hit, gets thrown off the stage too. From there, we have the most recent episode, and it is Ragi versus freak Sako. I want to say Sato, but it's not Sato. It's Sako. We find out that apparently when Ragi and Sako were young, that Sako was getting beat up by a bunch of middle schoolers when they were young, like before they were middle schoolers, and um, Ragi actually saved him. And from that moment forward, Sako became like his follower, his protege. He asked Ragi to teach him how to fight. Ragi says, "Cool, whatever. I'll teach you how to fight." And then he start just leading around. Ragi apparently has the charisma too that people just follow him wherever he goes because it's just how he is. Um, and then get to a moment where Sako says to Ragi, "I want you to become the strongest. I want to follow and make sure that happens no matter what." And then we get to a point where apparently they broke something happened. They had a rift. I don't think they've even talked about that yet. Did they, or did I miss that part?
I don't think they have.
No, I don't think they had either. But they have a true beautifully choreographed fight. Sako's doing these awesome moves. The best move I have seen at this point in their fight is that Sako goes sets up this combo. He goes through punches. He uses his right leg, his right knee, and he uses it to sweep out uh, Ragi's leg from. So he goes knee to thigh. So he pretty much
Mm.
dead legs Ragi in the middle of a fight, and from there he does a jumping roundhouse kick, catches him off guard too. And I was like, yo,
Yeah.
I've not seen that before in anything. Like I was like,
Mm-mm.
that was so cool. And then there's a point where Sako actually knocks out Rocky, and we're like, oh crap, this is over for him. But then Sakura's like, hey yo, you better get your old punk ass up because you making us look stupid in front of everybody. How you gonna be our second command and get beat up? You know, you're embarrassing. I was ready to fight you. Now I don't even think I want to put my hands on you. This is stupid. And that just triggers shoot, I want to that just triggers Rocky to actually just come out and sort of stop holding back and beats the crap out of Sako. And that was done. So I'm waiting for our next fight, which should be Togami versus Sakura. Um, and then from there should set up Hajime versus Choji. But so far, this has been the best spring anime I've watched so far. I really love it. I love the animation, love the art style, love the character designs, love the music for it. It's
Yeah.
so far it's hitting on every single cylinder. Depending on how the season go, to me, it may take the number one spot from the list of dungeon. We just got to see. So, what are you
Yeah.
guys' opinions so far on the 5 episodes of this?
Dude, I love it. Like I was sitting there, like I've watched episode one. I watched it um subbed because I watched it the day it came out. and then other things happened and things that I didn't get a chance to watch it again. Caught up with all 5 episodes today, and then I was like, "Whoa!" Like this is the especially that because I was sitting there watching it, and then all of a sudden, well, I had watched I had rewatched episode 1 about maybe a week or so ago, and Malachi was like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "It's called Windbreaker." He goes, "Can I watch it with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, sit down." Well, he sat and watched the whole episode, and he was like, "Can we watch another episode?" I'm like, it's 9:30, man. You gotta go to bed." And he was like, "I don't care. Like, I care. Get your ass to bed. You got school in the morning." But yeah, but I watched them, again. The animation is beautiful. I love the opening theme song. It's got a good it's an interesting story because it's basically about a guy who basically was pretty much an outcast, basically, and he found his niche. He found his people, basically. He has people who he has some common ground with, and then it's like he's still. But even then, even if when it's like someone like challenges him and he's presented with a challenge, he doesn't cower. He doesn't back down. It's almost like he's excited to fight, and that's one thing. It's like I like this motherfucker. I want to see this guy fight more. I think it's incredible. I like what you said, Roger. I think it could be the best anime of 2024, but I'm gonna wait a little bit longer to make that distinction because Delicious in Dungeon is just amazing. So I'm gonna have to. As of now, my vote is still Delicious in Dungeon, but I'd have to wait and see what else they're gonna do going forward. What about you, Chip?
Uh, so for me, this is the number one spring anime. Um, there's no questions asked. Like for me, Delicious Dungeon was the number one winter anime. I guess that's
Yeah,
what.
that was his first season. Yeah,
First
Yeah.
quarter anime.
Uh,
because it starts in December, so December, January, February is winter.
Okay, all right,
yeah,
that
yeah.
works.
So DID is the number one winter anime, and for me currently, um, this Windbreaker is the number one spring anime. I'm sure that it'll be overtaken, maybe not by me, but by the masses, by My Hero season 7 and Demon Slayer season 4, of which just dropped new episodes. Um, but I mean, we kind of know what to expect from both of those. This is Windbreaker is a whole new IP. Uh, so it's absolutely amazing. Just to parrot what both of you said, the animation style is beautiful. The opening and closing themes are like chef's kiss, damn near perfect. So yeah, that's basically all I got to say about that. You guys hit everything nail on the head for me.
And from there, I'm gonna try to get through this one as fast as possible. The next one I think we've all watched is Go Go Loser Rangers. Am I correct?
I haven't got a chance to watch Go Go Loser Ranger yet.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
then I will not talk about it right now. Then.
Yeah.
It's on my list. It's on my list. It's on
um,
my list. I still got to finish watching Hell's Paradise too, so I still got that left to do. I'm gonna on my list currently of the animes that I'm fixing to start. One's Go Go Loser Ranger. I want to finish Hell's Paradise. I also want to start watching shit. Where did it go? Um, fuck the baseball anime that you Oblivion Battery. I want to check out that one as well. And there's a couple of others also that I haven't got a chance to get into yet, but I'm gonna try to get to them now. Will you shut the fuck up, dog? Anyway, but yeah,
Chip, have you gone to Oblivion Battery yet?
No, not that one yet.
Okay.
I'm one episode behind on Go Go Lose Ranger, one episode behind on the Fable, and what's I've got my list here. Uh, I'm watching so much. I can't. I've got to keep
Yeah.
I literally have to keep a note. I'm one episode behind on God's Games We Play.
And also X-Men 97 finished this week, so you got to catch up on that.
Okay. Yep.
yeah.
Um, I
Yeah,
am
dad's
half
over
more than
here, so
halfway
we're
through.
yeah, dad's here, so we're probably going to finish watching the rest of it, probably within the next 2 days or so.
All right, so we're gonna go to the next portion, which is our wrestling talk. I'm trying to remember everything that happened off the top of my head. I can't. I'm gonna have to pull up my notes real quick because your boy got a little forgetness in him.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournament started
got
this
that old
week.
man brain.
I do
Yep.
have Joe Brain. If it didn't happen this week, it didn't happen at all. Um,
Yep.
Last week was weird, from what I'm remembering, because Raw it had what was it? Raw had no, it doesn't. Where's my Raw notes? There was a moment where Jay Uso was having a match. I can't remember who it was against.
Finn
Finn
Balor.
Balor.
Finn Balor, so yeah, for the King of the Ring tournament, and Drew McIntyre comes out and interferes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was. I found that to be awkward because he interfered on behalf of Jey Uso.
yeah, I was so confused by that. That's why I think I'm messing it up because I can't remember exactly how, like, what it didn't make any sense to me. But yeah, he interfered, causing Finn Balor to lose. Um, doesn't make any sense there, but I guess, um, who knows? He attacks Jey Uso, and then he leaves in a hurry. As soon as he leaves, CM Punk drives in, literally drives in the frame, and Adam Pearce is like, "Oh, you just missed Drew." CM Punk's like, "Oh, what the crap?" Walks to the ring. He's like, "I'm gonna get on the mic because I know Drew's on Twitter. He'll see this, so everybody start tweeting out, blah 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 blah, trying to get still hyping up the match between Drew and CM Punk. Eventually, when they both come back,
And what's crazy is people actually did it. People actually tweeted
Mhm.
to Drew,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like CM Punk is in the ring right now, waiting on you. Like that's that's really cool.
Yeah, it is, and I think that's the CM Punk effect. He makes people believe and integrates them
Yeah.
so much into the actual storyline. Um,
So
from
did
there, go ahead.
I was just going to ask? So has y'all's stance on CM Punk kind of changed since the whole AEW thing, or are you guys still kind of the same?
I'm hesitant, so
Okay, still hesitant. All
I
right,
need to
cool.
see what his behavior and way he's going to be continues on. Because if he
Yeah.
goes on to being, I'm cool for a little bit, and then I'm going to be a straight asshole again, then he didn't change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a report came out, or not really a report. Dijak put out like this like a long tweet about CM Punk, like really praising him and everything. When he came down to NXT, and he like pulled Dijak aside and gave him, as what Dijak said, some of the best advice that anybody has ever given him in his entire career. Um, and is part of the reason that he got called up to the back up to the main roster.
Oh, he was already
Yeah.
ready. Like, he was already ready. Like,
Yeah.
Nijak's been
Oh,
made up ready for years.
yeah,
Yeah.
we know that, but
They
it
just
was
keep
like,
sticking him with those stupid gimmicks.
yeah, but it
T bar.
from what from what
Yeah,
Dijak was
Dijak said.
saying is that CM
Yeah.
Punk kind of went to bat for him to get him called back up.
Yeah.
Um, so before the whole Jey Uso and Finn Balor thing, the thing before that was Damian Priest apologized to Judgment Day for how he reacted. He understands that JD and Finn were just looking out for him, one of the best for Judgment Day. So they had this awkward makeup session after the weird
Right.
backlash moment. Like, it was so
Yeah.
weird. It was so clunky and weird. And then Adam Pearce comes out and said, "Who cares? We're getting the first match. The first match is Finn Balor versus Jey Uso, and then we go to the whole Jey Uso Finn Balor match, which was decent. But on the CM Punk thing. So after that, we get Io Sky versus Natalia for the Queen of the Ring qualifying match or first round match, I guess. Io Sky wins, obviously, because they don't care about Natalia. Uh,
Nope.
It's a decent match. We have another match. I think I'm going to go through the matches more than anything.
Yeah,
We have Ricochet versus Ilya, and probably the match of the night.
Yeah.
Um,
that
possibly,
was
yes.
wow.
Ricochet got to show off. Ilya got to show off. Ilya does the same thing where he always somehow ends up busted open, but not like the way Moxley has to be busted open all the time.
I think so. I went back and watched the highlights of that match just because I thought it was so good, and I think what it happened or how it happened was on that superplex off the top. It looked like Elia came down right on his forehead.
Hmm.
I think it's when he got up, he scratched himself. Because
Maybe.
when he goes into the
It,
corner, he goes like this, and I think he actually scratched himself. But no,
Because
the
he's
Ricky,
dude's
always
got
bleeding on the nose, or he's always
yeah, like
bleeding
he's like
here,
right
or
here
he's
in this area, yeah.
yeah,
the dude's
Um,
got paper thin forehead.
yeah,
yes.
yes.
And then we have Ivy now versus Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark won that, right? I can't remember.
She did, and it was not a good match.
No, because Ivy now is
Um,
so green. They need to send her back to NXT and have her training more and more.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, she got a
but
good look to her, but at the same time, I mean, a look can only you can look great, but eventually the bell's got to ring. You know,
yeah,
I mean,
we have. I'm trying to remember. We have next is Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable are fighting. Sami Zayn comes in and interferes, so it causes a disqualification. They're setting up a triple threat match for the IC title
at
between the
Yeah.
three guys.
yeah, at
Uh,
King and King and Wing,
King, yeah, Queen going to
King
win. Queen
King
give
of
the
the Wing
wing.
to the Wing, yeah.
Queen get the
So,
wing.
sorry, my
No, I'm just trying to like I hate that I'm gonna have to watch that fucking Saudi Arabia show. Um, don't ever watch those. After that we have Liar Valkyrie versus Dakota Kai.
Well, before that, you had a segment where
Becky was out
Becky
there.
Lynch, yeah, she's out there with Liv Morgan and they're like yapping back and forth at each other. Then Damage Control comes out, surrounds the ring. They go back to back, and I
Live
guess,
lives her alone.
yeah, I guess Liv is gonna be playing the heel ish because she just rolls out of the ring and she's like, ha, not my problem, not my problem. And then Lyra Valkyrie comes out, like,
And then
for
two
whatever
somehow
reason.
defense three off.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's always the one thing that I did like is so Damage Control jumped Becky and they were beating her down. And when the music hit, they didn't stop.
They
Like,
shouldn't
yes,
stop. You should never stop. I
no,
yeah,
don't understand that in wrestling.
like
Oh,
they,
they're coming out. I still got 10 seconds before we get in the ring.
yep,
yeah,
yeah. Hey, I'm gonna
and,
stomp your ass for the next 10 seconds. Oh, you're sliding in the ring. I'm sliding out.
Mm-hmm.
You,
yeah. I mean, like they don't stop. They're still like pounding on her. And for whatever reason, like this was the one thing that I thought was
Awkward.
dumb during this segment.
Oh,
It's because like Lyra Valkyrie, she like makes a beeline to the ring, but stops midway to look at Liv and be like,
yeah,
why? Like if my friend is getting beat down, like I'm gonna ask why later. I'm trying to like get people
yeah.
off, whatever.
yeah. You should have
So
ducked Liv Morgan the moment she passed her. I mean,
Yeah. Um,
I don't
I
get
don't
it,
then
like
it
man.
goes into
I
the
don't like Liv Morgan. I don't. Yeah, she's a pretty face. Who cares? She really can't work, and I don't believe anything she does.
I think she
right.
can work if she's got a good dance partner, but other than that, she can't. She's not a ring general, but
Definitely not.
if she's in there with somebody who can guide her, I think she can be decent.
Lyra Valkyrie won her match. Unfortunately, she moves on to Queen of the Ring tournament.
Yes.
Um, then our main event was Gunther versus Sheamus. And beat the crap out of each other match because that's all they did was
That's
really
all they
just
do.
lay the lumber. That's all you got
Yep.
to do. Gunther gets the win in that one, but excuse me, Sheamus gets the crowd back into it again. Um, or gets the crowd on his side again. But I mean, he took a beating. His chest was hamburger meat again.
It
Yep.
sure
Um,
was.
And not even the good hamburger meat. Like,
and then I mean, Raw was pretty decent. I give it a B overall. Um, some of the matches were just they were such throwaway. Like I get you're supposed to set people up to advance them to the next round, and those are supposed to be the better matches. but you can have good first round matches of these tournaments and make it to where you don't know who's going to win,
Yeah.
and make it
Yeah.
feel more competitive than what it was. Because I mean, if Ivan Niles beats Zoe Starks, there's an issue there.
Yeah.
And if Dakota Kai would have beat Lyra Valkyrie, that would have been issues there because you gotta have like it. Like some of these matches were dumb. Like Ricochet versus Dragunov. Yeah, you knew Dragunov was going to win, but it was very competitive because Ricochet. Triple H likes Ricochet, and he's always a wild card in a match because he could
Mm-hmm.
win, whether
Yeah.
we think about it or not.
Yeah.
Jey Uso versus Finn Balor was definitely weird. It was like, yes, Jay should have won, but was he actually going to win the match to the interference? Where you don't know. That was the thing. Um,
Yeah.
Even the Gunther Sheamus. Go ahead, Chip.
Well, I was going to say, and so with Elia and Jay winning their matches, it does put so the next round is really a question mark because they're facing each other in the next round, Jay and Elia, which will be happening tonight as of this recording. Obviously, we haven't seen it yet. We'll talk about that next week. But that's one of those like you don't really know who's going to win. Like both guys are being pushed, uh, and we know Jay is going to be doing something probably with Drew, um, but
Yeah. And
you
yeah.
know,
And Kofi. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was to say, but who's really going to win that match, Elia or Jay? That's
I
that's a
think
big question.
I think honestly it'll probably end up being Elia, and then Elia and Gunther will be the semifinal for the Raw side. That's what I
Yeah,
think they're going to push for. I
that's
think.
that's what they're going for sure.
Yeah, because everyone loves every single time Gunther and Ilya Dragunov are in a ring with each other. You know it's going to be probably if not one of,
Perfect,
if not the best
perfect
match on the
matches.
card.
Perfect
Yes.
matches. Not only the best match of the card, probably one of the best matches of the year, no
Yeah.
matter what program it's part of.
Two
Uh,
5-star matches. We don't give a shit about Dave Meltzer's ratings, but at the same time, I mean, it shows how much those guys can transcend, because those guys are just amazing at what they do.
I mean, they've been wrestling each other for like 15 years. I mean,
Yeah.
um, but like I said, I give Raw overall a B. Some of the matches could have been better or less obvious, I guess, would have been a better thing. Um, Moving on to NXT, we pretty much start with was it a vignette of Wes Lee? Was that the first part? I can't.
Yeah.
I have it, but I can't remember the order. So a vignette of Wes Lee
Wesley. Yeah.
talking about his recovery, how he lost the title he never lost, which is always a great story for an injury. Like I didn't lose the title, I should have rights to it, but now I'm gonna go do all this stuff. Then we
Mm-hmm.
have Wes Lee versus Josh Briggs. Fortunately, Josh Briggs takes the L.
Mm.
Wesley is super hot. That's the heart. So that's this current generation's heart and soul for NXT. Like that dude can't do no wrong. Um,
Yeah. Well, and yes, Josh Briggs took the loss, but he looked like a beast
yeah,
in in that match.
but he just lost that triple threat. He did like we
Yeah.
talked about like him and Dijak had matches and they lost the next match, which should have been a build up match for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
from there we have Shayna Baszler versus someone I have no idea who it is. She took the no name person or the unknown person took the L as their
Harmon Petrovic.
Petrovich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have a vignette of Trick Williams and how he's supposed to start him, and duh, he has charisma about the ass. That's how he supposed to start him. Um, then we
Hey.
have two dudes who I don't know called Tyson DuPoint and Tyreek Igwe versus No Quarter Catch Crew wins. Do I remember correctly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Because
I don't know
they're still pushing them.
sort of ish.
It's William Regal's son.
Yeah, but that's
Uh,
Clint Dempsey.
yeah, Charlie Dempsey.
Clint Dempsey, yeah.
I cannot remember the other two. Yeah, I just remember Drew Gulak being in that group, and then the Ronda Rousey allegations came out, and then they kind of dismissed him after that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Apparently, it had
His
nothing to do with
his contract ran out.
yeah, they just didn't renew his contract.
Yeah.
But allegedly, there had been complaints made against him from
NXT people.
NXT talent that he was like targeting injuries,
Mhm.
like legitimately trying to hurt people and like being like
Gotta have that old school mentality.
yeah, trying to be like a super bully to get these guys prepared. Like, man, get out of here. If that's true, like that dude's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
From there we have
This ain't the 80s, Pat.
Mia Yim versus Ariana Grace. Mia Yim won, right?
Mia
Chin
Yim
one.
won, but
It
she's
was
just not. I'm gonna get flamed for this. I know I am. Mia Yim is not good. Um,
it's not that she's
every
not good. She has such a bad opponent every time. I don't know when was the last time she fought a top tier woman wrestler that could motivate her more.
it's been a while, but she like the last 5 or 6 like matches
Matches.
she had have all been super sloppy on her part.
Yeah.
Uh, and she's supposed to be out there trying to help the younger talent. Like I you look at like Natty, who like we know
Mhm.
she's there to build up younger talent, but she goes 110 every time she's in the ring, and it's like Mia Yim is just like ho hum, here we go. I gotta go teach this young kid how to wrestle. To me, she's got like the Eeyore effect.
Yeah. The last time I remember Mia Yim wrestling a top tier name was I think she wrestled Bianca Belair on a SmackDown like a couple of months ago. Like, and that was it. And the match was like 4 or 5 minutes, something like that. So, you know, that's about it. That's the last thing I remember her doing before she made. Obviously, she went to back to NXT for a reason. You know.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because Shayna Baszler's also down there. Natty's also down there. They're there to have quote unquote star power and to help the younger talent work on their
Well,
craft
also the
craft.
NXT women's division, like we said, only has two women wrestlers that really are
Yeah.
good. Um,
Roxanne and Cora
Cora,
Jade.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not saying that
And
some people can't build up because I mean they can, but we'll see. So after that, we have this weird segment with Lash Legend and Trick Williams. Made no sense at all because they were trying to like they made it seem like they were doing like a pregnancy announcement, sort of kind of thing.
That's what it sounded like to me. Yeah.
And
yeah,
then like I
they're
was like, what?
But
yeah,
is this also a weird way to transition into a program between Trick Williams and Noam Dar? Is Noam
which
Dar now the
is
number one contender?
yes.
yes, unfortunately, but it's he got the number one contendership when he beat Dijak, remember?
That's right. I try to put that match out of my mind.
But
Um,
it's so dumb because they're trying to do this big old build up to this pregnancy reveal, and it's not a pregnancy reveal. It's a picture of Noam Dar tightly pinning Trick Williams.
apparently
Ah,
Trick Williams pinned Noam Dar,
oh, that's what it was. Yeah,
and Noam Dar's foot was under the rope, so technically the win shouldn't have counted, but they
but the
counted it
ref didn't see
anyway.
it. Blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
that the whole. I mean,
It's an old angle, and it done right is great, but it was not done right here. It was
no.
such a stupid reveal. Um,
Can I also be honest about something? I'm not a fan of Noam Dar.
I'm
I
not a
have
fan
not.
of I'm not a fan of
I've
this Noam Dar.
I'm I was a fan of Noam Dar in the Cruiserweight Classic. You
I was a fan
know,
of him in NXT UK when he was just
yeah.
a pure heel and he didn't have this stupid guru gimmick crap thing he's doing.
I'm
And
not a fan of it, man.
the braided hair bugs me so much
It
because
does. Yes.
it's like, dude, just let your hair be long like it was. You ain't gotta braid it. Um,
Yes.
this was a super segment. I'm going through it real quick. After that, we have Fallon Henley versus Kelani Jordan. You guys gotta tell me who won because I didn't watch it yet again because both of them are dog shit. Sorry to say, it's not a thing about them being women wrestlers. They're just dog shit. So I don't know who even won that match. Um,
I don't remember
Me
either.
neither. Me neither.
but whatever. We go from there. We have a Tony D'Angelo segment where he's turning heel again because he
He's like
kidnapped.
abducting people left and
It's
right.
Well, he did that before leading up to
his match
Ilya's.
with Ilya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he abducted Ilya, messed up his hand. But then during the match with Ilya, he turned his face. But then they're doing this heel turn again, where he ducks two black people. So We're going to do another gang war.
I think, I think they're trying. I mean, this just might be me looking at it from a distance, but I think they're just trying to make Tony D'Angelo not really like a true heel, but more just like a guy who will do whatever he needs to do to succeed, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Like, because this whole gimmick is, it's nothing personal, it's just business. He has the Godfather take on it, it's nothing personal, or whatever. But still, I mean, you're putting him, but you're putting him. I mean, I'm just giving you my opinion, but I mean, you're not doing him any favors. Like, either keep him as the bad, boss, or keep him as, but I don't know. Does the mafia characters, does it really get over as a baby face unless you're like a super fan of like
Nunzio.
like Godfather movie? That a different time, different era.
The FBI, man, the FBI.
FBI was great, dude. FBI. Tony Mama Luke was so underrated, dude. I don't care what none of y'all say,
Chuck
man.
Palumbo, man.
Mama Luke was great. Palumbo, yeah.
Hey, bruh, Nunzio coming out, just
all that.
It got over so well because it was so stupid. But
and then Tracy Smothers, God rest his soul, carrying him on his shoulders to the ring at the ECW
made no sense at all to me. It still doesn't make sense to me.
It's Tracy Smothers. Who cares? Rest in peace, Tracy.
But
we miss you,
my
man.
thing with Tony D'Angelo is that they're trying so hard to emulate a mafia gangster dude, but then they do stupid stuff with him. And you're taking me out of it. Like, let him be a gangster. Let him go backstage and start taking pipes to people's knees. Start doing that hard stuff like that. If you want to do outside vignettes, stop having to abduct people. Have them walk up to other wrestlers at a bar and beat the crap out of them in the bar or something like that. Do what they do, like in Goodfellas and stuff like that. Lock the door and have people come out and beat somebody up. And you don't even have to show them get beat up. Just have a group of people come in, show D'Angelo's face being very serious, just doing like this and just like, that's what you got to do. Like, you don't always have to show us to tell us. That's what we're doing with Tony D'Angelo so much, is they're showing us to tell us he's a gangster. Just show us he's a gangster by doing gangster stuff. You don't always have to show it directly.
Real G's moving silence like lasagna.
Like Sagna.
Yeah, that.
But no, from there we have Duke Hudson going against Lexus King. Lexus King won, if I remember correctly. I cannot remember last week at all at this point.
Yeah. They're trying to push him really, really hard
after having him lose like 3 out of his first 4 matches. Yeah, they better push him.
They're trying to do something with him now.
From there they have a go ahead.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was gonna say go ahead.
From there, we have a vignette of the NXT Women's Combine, which is always great to see because you get to see some of the new people show off that they're actually really strong or really cool, and maybe who they're going to push next, and maybe somebody's going to be a gem. I want to see the Men's Combine. They haven't showed that in years, but they'll show the women's every time. And then the main event was Chelsea Green versus Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's title. Don't know how Chelsea Green is the #1 contender or how she got the match to begin with. They have a good little 5 to 6 minute match overall.
Yeah, 8 minutes 9 seconds according to this thing on YouTube right here.
Oof.
So yeah, hey.
But overall, decent match. I don't know if it was Chelsea being out of place, Roxanne being out of place at some point. I couldn't tell who is the one at fault at some point, but there was a rhythm. There was not a rhythm connection between them. There was no good chemistry between them.
No,
they had moments, but overall it was a little clunky match. NXT, I give them a C rating. They were so mid. They had so much stupid stuff in between some of the good stuff. The Trick Williams thing, I was really thinking about that fake pregnancy announcement. I almost gave it an F overall. But Duke Hudson and Lexus King really bumped it up because it was such a good match.
Yeah, it was.
And Wesley and Josh Briggs being the opener was the smartest thing because the rest of the show was not really competing until the semi-main or the co-main, however they want to say it. Duke Hudson and Lexus King. So
would you say Briggs and Lee was match of the night?
Yeah, for sure, easily.
Yeah.
But like I said, Wesley is the heart and soul. The division. Yeah, the face is definitely Trick Williams, of course, but the heart and soul is Wesley. So yeah. Moving on, we got SmackDown, which
opened with Cody. Because why else? How else you gonna fucking open SmackDown? But with the WWE undisputed champion, who you've already
saturated so bad that people are actually starting to wonder
They're
if they should
wondering,
turn on him.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm just like,
But
Like
we get this really
weird segment with him and Logan Paul's the number one contender. It's a champion versus champion match, and it's for both titles. Why, after we just split up
nobody's
the
gonna
main
win.
titles, yeah,
The-
it's going to be a DQ break. It's going to be interference from.
bloodline. I'm calling it now. Bloodline's interfering.
I don't know if it's gonna be Bloodline.
I think it
I
is
don't
going to
know.
be a
I
bloodline.
think it's a bloodline thing.
Yeah,
Solo gonna go after Cody. That's what I'm thinking.
I think it might be
To
the return of
reclaim
Roman.
what I don't think it's I think they're gonna save Roman for SummerSlam.
Actually, the debut of Jacob Fatu.
There you hey, that's
It,
hey, I can see
can
it happening.
can Jacob Fatu go to Saudi?
I don't see why you couldn't.
You're right, he has a criminal record, but
Oh, well then never mind.
Jimmy and Jay both have criminal records from DUIs.
That's true.
But
They just can't go to Canada.
okay.
But I think he has been to Canada now recently. I think they've sort of gotten that
Well,
situated.
what? No, Jacob Fatu. No, Jacob Fatu wasn't in Japan, was he?
He's been to
Recently?
Japan.
I know he's been to Japan, but was that before or after?
That was after his because he didn't start wrestling until after his arrest.
Oh, then yeah, he should be fine then. He can go to Saudi. That's no issue.
Well, Saudi's a lot more strict.
Oh yeah, Saudi's a lot more.
Yeah, I
strict.
didn't think about that.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Maybe I think Bloodline maybe Tama Tonga comes out and interfere, or Grayson Waller and Austin Theory make the save for Logan so he doesn't lose his title and
Yeah.
something like that. Like they get caught doing a move or something to throw away the match.
Yeah.
Or it
To
could
me,
be
that's a
something none of us
throwaway
are thinking
match.
about. Or it could be something none of us are talking about.
It could be.
You know?
I hope it is. But no, we start with that segment of two guys. To be honest, I would rather see Logan Paul than Cody Rhodes. I really would.
I would, yeah.
I'm tired of freaking Cody Rhodes being there all the. Yes, we had a last champion who was never there, but when he was there, it was impactful. Now we have a champion who's always there, who's not doing anything. Who cares? You're just talking and nobody cares. You're just saying stuff to take up time. It's not working, guys. You don't have to have him every single week.
Or if you are going to have him every single week, don't let him be the first segment of your show just to ask people, so what do you want to talk about? Hello, Cody. Let's talk about the fact that you ain't wrestled since you won the freaking belt. But he did beat AJ Styles. I'm paraphrasing. I'm talking about before the whole AJ thing because he didn't wrestle. His first match after Mania was the match in Backlash versus.
Oh, was it? He faced Hayes.
Yeah,
that's a draft.
Said it. Oh yeah, you're right. The
first night of the draft.
Cody's wrestled like 4 times already. Actually, he's wrestled too many times, in my opinion.
I'm sorry.
You're good. So leaving that segment, we go to another segment that shouldn't have existed. Naomi versus Nia Jax. It was not good.
In which they put Nia over.
They have to.
They kind of have to, yeah. Even though the TV went black for a little bit and then came back because of Naomi's wardrobe malfunction. Yep.
Then we have from there we go to
Carmelo Hayes and Baron
Carmelo
Corbin.
and Baron Corbin. Yeah, Carmelo Hayes goes over.
Yeah,
they're still building that man to the moon, but unfortunately, Corbin's first match on the main roster since the draft is a loss. So there goes his momentum.
But don't you? But isn't it weird that people were actually like buying into Corbin again? Do you think? Did you find that interesting? Did you hear some like?
Well, it's because he was so over in NXT and people were finally on his side, and now they're not burying him. He's his first match. He took the loss. They're trying to build Carmelo. I don't think this should have been the match.
I don't think it should have been the match either.
I think he should have faced somebody else. I don't remember who was on the other side of the tournament.
Well, Angelo Dawkins and Tama Tonga. If you had Baron against Tama Tonga and Carmelo against Angelo Dawkins, like I could see that a little bit more, but then you know what I mean? Like, but then you had Corbin and Carmelo. Like, I mean, I get it. I mean, I watched the match. It was a good match. I mean, they worked good with each other, but even then, I would have rather seen. I don't know about Corbin being King Corbin again, but at least he
wouldn't have. It would have been if Corbin would have went against Tama Tonga, the loss would have probably been more. It would have made more sense because Tama Tonga is being built right now to be the new enforcer, and it makes sense that he would have won that match. Yes, they're building Carmelo to be the next. Are they building to be a baby? I can't remember if he's a baby face or not right now.
They had him doing a heel thing because eventually it was going to be him eventually going up against Lashley, but now Lashley's
Injured.
hurt. Like we
Yeah.
don't know, but we don't know if the injury's legitimate yet or not. So we will just have to wait and see.
Yeah. But yeah, they're doing that. But no. Good match between Corbin and Carmelo. Corbin's been around long enough to where he has the experience. He's faced Carmelo plenty of times anyways in NXT, so they have the
Yeah.
chemistry between each other. Um, from there we go to a backstage segment with Solo and Paul Heyman, and Solo's like, "Oh, so you haven't talked to Tribal Chief since WrestleMania, yet you took him out of the draft, which hurt our stock, which means you took money off my plate, which means you took food out of my family's mouth." And Paul's like, "Oh, I didn't try to, he's doing this cowardly thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't. That's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to, protect him, and I was trying to protect you guys and everything, blah blah blah." And Solo's like, "Well, you may have not talked to Roman since WrestleMania, but I have, and he put me in charge." Now, the big story is this legitimate? I love the bloodline story they're doing right now because it's still fresh because they're consistently changing things to make it seem realistic over and over again, even though we know Roman's still in charge, blah blah blah. But now we're doing the split. We're doing the split off whether we're on new bloodline, old bloodline, or whatever is going on. I enjoy it. Paul Heyman's still a mad genius and great in everything he does.
Mm-hmm.
From there, then we go to the next match, which was leading up from the bloodline, which is D'Angelo Dawkins. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say we also learned that they kind of changed Tongaloa's name um during this.
Did they? I thought I was still talking
Yeah.
Lola.
So it is, but in New Japan and everywhere else, it was Tanga, and they have changed the spelling of it to Tonga.
No, it was supposed to be Tonga Loa. He's Tonga. It's Tonga.
Go back and watch New Japan. It's Tanga. I promise you.
I wanted to look that up because I could have sworn they
Yeah.
just always called him Tonga Loa.
Mm-hmm.
But while he's looking that up, yeah, the next match was
No,
Angelo
you're right. It
Dawkins.
is Tonga. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Angelo
I
Dawkins
mean,
versus Tama.
it's
Tama
it's
Tonga,
just
yeah.
a letter, but still.
It's so weird because he was with Tama Tonga. Why would you be Tonga? I guess Tongan or Tonganese. I don't. I can't remember what they
I
actually
don't.
called.
I'm not sure.
Tongan. Actually, I think it's just Tongan. Actually. But yeah, Angelo Dawkins, Tama Tonga, good chemistry between both of them. Angelo Dawkins,
Mhm.
such a good guy to work with. He has big moves, big flashy moves, but he knows how to sell.
Mhm.
Yeah, Tama Tonga is Tama Tonga. If you guys out there don't know who Tama Tonga is, shame on you. Should have watched him in Japan. Dude's so good, makes everything seem smooth and easy.
Oh yeah.
I
Just
still
just
don't understand why he wears the top thing.
the vest, the top vest,
Yes.
is just a cool design.
It's just an aesthetic that he
Yeah,
wears to the
it's like
ring.
AJ wears his hooded sleeveless vest. I mean,
Yeah, but he wrestles in it.
No, he don't.
no, he doesn't. He
Tom,
takes it off.
No, he doesn't. Takes it off.
Tomo takes it off now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wrestles shirtless. He was
Okay.
beefed up. Remember, he's always beefed
Yeah.
up.
I know he's
jacked,
beefed
yeah.
up.
He just wears it. He
That's
just
why I
wears
was
it out
like,
to
I
the
just don't
ring.
understand why he wears it
No,
to wrestle.
He wears it to the ring, yeah, but
Yeah,
he don't wear it
in
to
Japan
wrestle.
he did because he wasn't as big as he is now. Now that he's actually had time to work out and swell up, he's like I'm showing off the gains.
Yep,
Um,
exactly.
Good match overall. Tama Tonga wins. You have to put him over.
Mhm.
Yes.
Good match overall. Like I said, Bianca Belair versus Candice LeRae. Easy to know who's winning that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a standard match. Candice LeRae, veteran, knows how to work with everybody. Makes it seem easy. Whatever. From there, we have a segment with DIY, just having a vignette talk about they were a team for the fans, by the fans, always even though they try to kill each other multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
NXT.
Yes.
Then we have Jade Cargill versus Piper Niven. I
It
don't
was actually
think.
a better match than I expected.
Yeah, it
Yeah, well, that's
was.
because Piper's she's been wrestling for so long. She knows how to make
Yeah.
things work out well. But to be honest, I don't think Jay should be in his tournament
Mm-mm.
because you're gonna have it. Yes, you're gonna eventually have the buildup of Jade versus Bianca.
Mm.
I think that's going to be the semis for.
That doesn't sound like because it's gonna be
That's the semis.
SmackDown versus Raw at the
Yeah.
at Saudi.
Eh,
But then do you
So
put
who
Bianca
goes
over?
over? Yeah.
I would.
Or
This is the whole thing that's going to build to WrestleMania 41.
Yeah,
this
Bianca
early
versus
though?
Jade. Yeah, I would say this early.
What is
Absolutely.
when is it like 2 3 weeks, something like that?
To Mania? What are you
No,
talking
No.
about? What
you
the
can't
hell
get
are
a
you talking
ring.
about? What do you?
Can't get a
King,
ring.
Well,
King,
Chip had said Mania, and that's why
well,
I thought you were
yeah.
you were trailing along that part.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Um,
like they're going to face each other
Uh,
this
so
week or next week, something like that.
it'll be next week.
it'll be next
So
week.
next
Yeah,
week will be the semis, and then
The
is it
finals will
the
be the
week
week after
after
the
that.
that?
finals.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
That's what I wonder. Like how
no,
you do it's all within 3 weeks. Like
that's gonna be yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how they break that up and stuff. But
because I feel like they should be breaking up at like Survivor Series or SummerSlam Survivor Series after losing the title, and then like who
who do you
turns
who do?
heel?
I think Jade should be the one to turn heel. Because I think Bianca's just too popular as a babyface. But then again,
Oh,
if Bianca turns heel, that could give her a new dynamic. But then again, can you push Jade? Because Jade Cargill really wasn't a babyface in AEW, though. Really, she wasn't really much of a heel. She was more of a tweener in
well,
AEW. If she
She
was
wasn't anything
anything,
because they didn't really do anything with her
they
besides her,
couldn't do
her
yeah.
nothing.
post.
They could do nothing with her.
I,
Yeah.
I I think you almost have to turn Bianca because she'll be the one to carry the match through.
Yeah.
See, I think you do Jade because she has to work slow.
Be
That
more of a methodical. Yeah, I can see
Well,
I
that.
can see that.
it exposes her less. Yeah, she's going to quote unquote control the match, but she's only going to do a few power moves here and there. And the in between spots is going to be Bianca fighting her and then getting cut off and slow the match down over and over again. That's just me, but probably going to go the way Chip said, where Bianca, because she's a veteran and she knows how to work more, she can pace out the match better overall and probably knows what to do in the in between spots as the heel more than Jay does. But what would Jade's comeback be, and how are we gonna make it work? I like my thing is like she's
Yeah.
so green. They're gonna have to start building her up. From literally from this point on. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: do you ever win the match against Bianca and then go to Saudi to lose or win? Like there's so much like you have to protect her. She's so delicate right now. Her protection is the number one priority. Like yeah, you got to show her off and make her win stuff here and there, and you can't have her lose yet,
Well,
but you
hang on.
can't have her win everything.
But here's the thing. It would be one thing if she lost to like Dakota Kai or she lost to one of the lower tier females on the roster. But if you lose to like a Bailey or you lose to Bianca, I don't think it's going to hurt her stock that much. I mean, you're losing to a former multi-time women's champion. I don't think anyone's going to sit there and say, "Oh, Jay Cargill ain't shit because she only lost one time and it was against Bianca." I don't think that's going to be the case. I think, if anything, if we're going to go down this line of thinking, if Bianca does beat Jade Cargill, that could set up for Jade to make the turn later on, or vice versa. If Jade beats, Bianca, it could set Bianca up to turn heel later on. So yeah, so there's different angles you can go with it, but I don't know. I mean, she's going to have to eventually lose because you don't want it to, like when they did in AEW, she won what 50 something matches in a row. And the only match she lost was the match that she lost to Chris Statlander to lose the TBS title. And then that was it, but I don't know.
Oh,
It's going to be
so
interesting.
actually, Jay's next match is against Nia Jax.
Oh,
Oh, so now we have another,
it
are they going to do Nia to go against Bianca in the final?
it could be.
We'll
That's
definitely have to
see,
watch to see. That's
yeah,
That
that's one of those. It
that's one
could
of the
go
matches I don't
either
know if I
way
want to watch.
matches.
I don't I
hold on.
don't know if I want to
They
watch
had
that
3-3. I need to look up the tournaments real quick to see.
because Nia versus, here's the thing. I'm not saying, oh God, like you put Nia in the right, you give the right opponent to Nia Jax, she can be good. But you're putting Jade Cargill in there with Nia. Not to say that Cargill's bad, but she's not. Neither one of these are ring generals.
Excuse me.
Oh,
So
it's got disaster written all over it. And I'm sorry if that sounds bad to the Nia Jackson, Jade Cargill fans, but I'm being honest. Neither one of them are ring generals.
So it makes sense why. Because it's Nia versus Jade. On the other side is Bianca versus Tiffany Stratton.
Okay.
Okay.
Which, oof. My thing is you
is
can't
that
keep
just on Smack? Is that just on SmackDown side?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't keep having Tiffany Stratton lose though.
Yeah, I agree.
These big matches, because you're gonna make her seem like, oh yeah, she's all right, but she can't beat nobody that when it matters, or she can't beat anybody at a higher level. Gosh, that's so bad. But
and on the Raw side, what do they do? What are they doing on the Raw side?
Shayna versus, I guess, Zoe Starks and Lyra versus Io.
Yeah.
Wait, is Shayna in the tournament?
Yeah, she went in for Zelina Vega because Zelina got hurt at a house show.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like Asuka's hurt right now too.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on from there, I guess we had Randy Orton versus AJ Styles in another classic between the two guys, super veterans, of course. Randy Orton gets to win. My thing is, has Randy Orton ever won King of the Ring?
Nope.
No.
So I guess it's his year to win it. Obviously, but I say that, but the SmackDown side is pretty stacked though. Because you have Tama, LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, Randy Orton, and LA Knight versus Tama, and I guess Randy Orton and Carmelo Hayes, or do you have Carmelo and Tama and Randy Orton and LA Knight?
I would rather do honestly, I would rather do Randy Orton versus shit, sorry. I'd rather have Randy Orton versus Carmelo and Tama versus LA Knight. But the problem with that is, do you put Tama and Randy in the finals of SmackDown?
That's literally what it's leading up to.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm. See, I was thinking the same thing too. I wasn't expecting Carmelo to win this whole thing. That's why I didn't put any stock into whoever he battles. But at the same time, it's like LA Knight is still getting some of the biggest reactions.
He is the most over person on the roster.
So do you stuff him? Do you get him out in the quarters?
You forgot about Cody Rhodes.
Actually, you know what? He's not the most over person. CM Punk is the most over person, but LA Knight's number 2.
Yeah, but LA, I mean, because golly, there are a lot of guys, and it's like, but if he's going against Tama Tonga, man, like how do you justify Tama losing to LA Knight? You know what I mean?
The way you're going to have it is LA Knight's going to lose by interference.
Of course,
Randy Orton's going to lose to interference, setting up Randy Orton and Kevin Owens and LA Knight versus this form of the bloodline with I guess Jacob Fatu coming in.
So Tama goes on to the King of the Ring final against Gunther.
Jay.
You think it's gonna be Jay?
No, it's gonna be Gunther.
I'm about to say, man, hold on.
It might actually be Ilya.
That's the thing. You can make a case legitimately for each, except for a couple of people, but you could probably make a legitimate case for a lot of people in the tournament as to why they should win.
Well, that's the whole thing is that they actually put main eventers in it. I think the whole thing is you should always have your main eventers being in all rounds of it because, like I said, it gives legitimacy. Yeah, some main eventers are going to take an early loss, but it doesn't take away because they just lost another main eventer. But you have these top tier people beating the lower tier people. Who cares?
But you also, but I agree with that. But also at the same time, you don't want it to be guys that you've already seen before. You would probably want to see somebody new and fresh, especially if they got a hot start like Ilya, obviously brand new to the roster. Granted, he's been in NXT UK for a while, so you know who he is.
But he's a main event guy.
He is a main event guy. I do agree with that. I mean, it'd be different if it was like if Angelo Dawkins beat Tama Tonga. I know it's not going to happen, but if it happened, it's like, okay, you kind of screwed the legitimacy of a Tama Tonga.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it would have been all main event guys throughout the whole tournament, then yeah, because Tama Tonga is a main event guy. He's in the bloodline. That's the immediate
You're
main event.
automatically main event
Yeah,
if you're in
yeah.
the bloodline. Absolutely.
So yeah, like
Even Camacho at this point, even though he
yeah.
hadn't really done much of anything yet, other than the interference in
Oh,
France.
that'd have been the third guy. I don't think Jacob Fatu. It'd have been the Gorillas of Destiny and Solo versus Orton, Kevin Owens, and when is War
LA
Games?
Knight.
Survivor Series?
War Games to Survivor Series, yeah, but that's not
God,
until November.
November. God, I was gonna
Yeah,
say maybe we're setting that up, but nope, it's way too early for that. Because the next
I mean,
up after King of the Ring is Money in the Bank.
and then
Yes.
it's SummerSlam.
So do we keep pushing Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, LA Knight versus the Bloodline to SummerSlam? That's 4 months, 3 months from now. Gosh, can you
you
keep it hot for
could.
90 more days?
I don't
You
know.
could.
Because you're gonna have to have Tama Tonga win the King of the Ring by literally cheating from to I guess everybody from this point on. Well, not Carmelo Hayes, but he has to cheat. That's why I think he's going against LA Knight. He has to cheat LA Knight out somehow, and he has to cheat Randy Orton out to win it.
Yeah.
Bloodline Ring. King of the Ring.
What if he goes to cheat and then somehow it backfires and Randy Orton does win it, and you get Orton versus Gunther or Orton versus
Orton ain't taking them chops. Orton ain't taking them chops. he, he he's like, I'll take a semifinal loss. I'm not taking them chops. He's like, I did too much early in my career to go through this bullshit again.
Shawn Michaels slapped the shit out of me.
Hey, well, Randy Orton said, I done paid my dues.
Yeah, I paid
Right,
my dues in blood.
Yep.
But no,
he said, I see what happened to Sheamus.
Oh God.
and hamburger meat in my chest.
And McIntyre and Elia and anybody else who wanted to get in there with that motherfucker.
But
Yeah.
But overall, SmackDown was an A easily. SmackDown is the better show, even though
It's been the better show.
even though they have Cody Rhodes show up every single week. God, every single week.
Every week. I don't get it either.
But
Well, and here's the thing, real quick. Cody Rhodes promos aren't even believable. Like, if Roman was there and he was just cutting a promo, like, it's a believable promo. He was the Muhammad Ali of SmackDown. He's talking people into the building.
Yep.
People were showing up just to see what he was going to say, what he was going to do, etc. Nobody's doing that for Cody, and
they're there to sing a song and then get the matches on.
well, they're just there to say, "Whoa."
Yep.
Yeah. But no, it's
Hey, your champion doesn't necessarily always draw you the money.
Diesel.
What's drawing the money right now on SmackDown right now? The Bloodline story is drawing SmackDown.
Randy Orton,
LA Knight, Randy Orton,
and Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. Yeah,
Like
obviously.
literally those 6 guys who are going to have to face each other.
Yeah.
Because yet again, when we thought the Bloodline were going to take the L, they had a new member get the win. So they literally Randy Orton and Kevin Owens still have unfinished business. Kevin Owens, I think, might be taking time off because they made it seem like he got really hurt. But that's when you have the surprise entrant. I guess at King of the Ring. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you? I guess they have time to set it up, but how do you set this up? Because Kevin Owens has to make the surprise save to help out Randy Orton and LA Knight, I guess, during maybe at Money in the Bank. They have the Guerrillas of Destiny versus Orton and LA Knight. Solo Sikoa is going to interfere. Kevin Owens makes the save, setting up SummerSlam. Maybe that's the only way we can draw it out to SummerSlam.
And then you also got to think, because also with Money in the Bank coming up as well, the actual Money in the Bank match, where do you see that going? Could it be a situation where somebody from the Bloodline gets that? Or could it be a situation of LA Knight when it becoming Mr. Money in the Bank? Or could it be a situation of somebody from even the Raw, which I think, honestly, this year, I think somebody from the Raw side is probably going to get the Money in the Bank. And it wouldn't surprise me.
Didn't LA Knight win Money in the Bank already?
No.
I thought he did. Not last year, but the year before.
No.
He's only been on the main roster a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he just immediately went. Well, he didn't immediately go to the top. He went against Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy. Then he went off some time and did some bullshit. And then went. Oh, he's been on there for 2 years now. Sorry, you're right. 2 years.
Yeah. No, the year last year, Damian Priest won Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I remember seeing Money in the Bank.
And
before
then the year
that
before was Let me look it up real quick.
Hold on, let me think. Who won Money in the Bank before Damian Priest?
Because I think it was a false cash in. I think.
Damian Priest held it for so long. Seth Rollins? No.
It was. Hang on, I'm looking it up now. Okay, Damian Priest won Money in the Bank 2023. Go back to 2022. It was results.
Austin
It
Theory.
was Austin
Oh,
Theory.
sorry, that's right. Yep.
I forget that he won Money in the Bank.
Was that 2022?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
2022.
So
Because instead
because he tried to
he
cash it on
tried to
Lesnar
cash
at
it in on
Summers.
Lesnar, he tried to cash it in on Roman.
So hold on. 2022 was the SummerSlam with Roman went against Brock and they lifted the ring up. Why does that seem like it was like 6 years ago at this point?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, Roman's title reign was 3.5 years, and it was during the pandemic when it happened. So,
I get that, but like that SummerSlam feels like it was not 2 years ago. It feels like it was longer than that at this point.
well, hell, Roman and Brock have only been wrestling. Roman and Brock, I'm sorry, Roman and Brock have only been wrestling each other since 2015.
That's what I'm saying. Like 6 years
So
ago. It felt like 6 years ago,
yeah,
um, but no, overall, SmackDown a better show. They're just killing it easily over there. They're keeping it interesting.
SmackDown's always been a better show, but that's my biasy, I guess.
But to close out this podcast, we're going to be doing a quick little snippet thing. Let me get this settled. I'm going to do the introduction for this is the TikTok portion, even though you guys don't see it regardless on YouTube. You're going to see the full length, but TikTok's going to see the clip of it. All right. So today, guys, we're going to build the perfect wrestler with 5 categories. And you know what, Talon, I'm going to let you start it out.
Okay, well, let me go look at the thing so I
The
can.
category.
Yeah,
Okay,
let me
so the
look at it.
categories were trying to remember off the top of my head was body. So what your person's pretty much going to look like. So you're pretty much going to look at you pick good appearance, your charisma, technical ability, move set, and finishing move.
Okay.
So let me do the intro again real quick. So today, guys, we're going to build the perfect wrestler by drafting different wrestlers with different parts. Talon, start it off.
All right. To kick off with charisma, I'm going Eddie Guerrero. If I'm
All
going,
right. One at a time. What are you doing? It's a draft.
oh, I'm confused. Wait a minute. I thought you were saying we were making the best wrestler using these categories and what the okay.
Yeah,
As a
draft style.
Draft style.
That's what I'm saying.
So
You're saying
how does the draft work? You get one pick and you go to the next person.
okay. Okay, you start off with a category, the wrestler you draft once is okay. All right. My bad. All right. So
All
I
right.
guess
So
I'll
we're gonna
start
start
with
this off one more time.
I was confused. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
What up, everybody? Today we are going to be drafting the perfect wrestler with 5 categories. We're going to have charisma, technical ability, moveset, finisher, and appearance. Go ahead, Talon, start us off.
No, you start us off.
What? All right. So starting off, I am going to pick the wrestler bodies. I'm picking Randy Orton.
That's a good one. Okay. Chip, go ahead.
Uh, I'm gonna go charisma, and I'm gonna take Asuka's charisma.
Okay, that's good. I'm gonna go with technical ability, and I'm gonna go Mr. Perfect.
And then you go again because you're at the end of the draft.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go with finishing move, and I'm gonna go RKO. Randy Orton's RKO.
All right, Chip.
I'm gonna go technical ability, Brian Danielson.
That's literally my next pick. All right. Well, since I'm going to get that, I'm going to start out with my charisma, LA Knight, and my move set. I'm actually going to go with Shingo.
That's good. That's a good one. Yeah.
You asshole.
Go ahead, Chip. Your turn.
Uh, I'm gonna go uh body AJ Styles.
Current AJ Styles.
Current AJ
Current AJ
Styles.
Styles, right? Yeah. For me, body, I'm gonna go with Ah, shit, that's a lot to choose from. Um, I'm gonna go 2001 to 2004 Chris Jericho, and for charisma, I'm gonna go Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero.
All right, Chip.
I will go move set Shawn Michaels.
Shoot, what do I have left? I have finisher and technical ability. So finisher, I'm gonna go with Victoria's Widow Peak.
That's a
Ooh,
good one.
that's a nice one.
Love that
That is a
move, and
good one.
nobody does
Yeah.
it. And technical ability, oof. Um, I am going to go with. Let me go with. Oh, I don't know. You took Daniel Bryan. That was the one I was going to go with.
Well,
Um,
you got a lot to choose from. There's Bret Hart, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko. There's a lot you could choose
nah.
from.
I am going to choose Hulk. No, I'm playing. Never. I'm actually going to go with Roddy Piper's technical ability.
That's a good one.
Nice,
That's a good one.
nice. And then I only have finishing move left. I'm gonna go. Give me Okada's Rainmaker.
Oof.
That's a good one.
I'm surprised he didn't take the Stone Cold Stunner. So it was still there.
Yeah. Move set. That's what I got left. Move set. Golly.
You should have two.
No, I got one. I got one left.
Oh, yeah, there's
Because
one left. Sorry. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Move set. I'm gonna go with. eh, I'll go Bret Hart. I think Bret Hart had a pretty good move set. Not as extensive, but it was effective what he had.
All right. Well, here you go, everybody. Comment down below who you thought had the better wrestler. Me, of course. But go ahead and tell me who was second place over there. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
Go
comment
ahead and
down
let
below.
Roger know he had number two.
I had 1 and 2. How about that?
You are a number two. How about that?
I am the shit. That's when you guys talk, you talk me. Yeah, over his head. But no, thank you guys for joining us as always. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever Chip says. Do all that
My
stuff.
God, let the man do his intro, his outro.
Hey, do your
Jesus,
intro, Chip.
outro, in
Uh-oh,
outro.
the intro. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. No, before we get into that, I do want to say one thing real quick. I want to give a huge shout out to Eli at Cubster Cosplay Photography for inviting me out to FrankenCon this weekend. Had a phenomenal time at FrankenCon. It's a very small horror themed convention. Met some great people there. Have a few of them on the podcast later. Some horror, it's like the old school, like what we would call B films now. Um, but super cool people. So thank you, Eli, for inviting me out and allowing me to tag along and learn from you. With that being said, please do not leave without leaving a like, comment, share, and subscribe on Spotify, TikTok, and right here on YouTube.
Go ahead, Roger. What else you got?
Um, just thank you guys for the support, all the comments and everything like that. We are trying out some more things here soon, but just let us know, voice your opinions, whether you're wrong or not. Say it with your chest.
There you go. And if you guys still want to support Movement Radio, if you would like to continue to support Movement Radio, please check out streamlabs.com/Movement Radio/merch and go copy some merch. Again, Dragon Ball Z inspired merch, My Hero Academia inspired merch, the old school logo, the new school logo, anything that tickles your fancy. We are very much it's going to be there for you, and we do appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Appreciate you guys. This weekend coming up, Saturday and Sunday, Movement Radio, we are going to be at Metrotham Con at the Chattanooga Convention Center on May 18th and 19th. If you guys want to come hang out with us, take some pictures, see some fans, do some videos. If you guys see us, come say hi. We won't bite, I promise. That's all I got. That being said, again, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys. Until next time, I'm Talon Williams.
I'm Chip Hazard,
I'm Roger Sierra.
and this is Movement Radio.
Guys, plan.
Go Knicks.